And welcome to your favorite Sunday morning TV show, Breakfast Daily Sunday Breakfast rather. On this show, we bring you exciting conversations, we lighten up your morning. We also bring you the news, we delve into your communities to bring you all of those interesting issues happening there, and of course, sports, right?
Yes, definitely sports.
Yeah.
Today's Father's Day.
Absolutely.
And I put on my status that people should send in, 30-second, 40-second videos saying Happy Father's Day. No one.
What time did you put it on your status?
I put it there like after our show yesterday. I put it there around like 11 or 12.
So wait.
Up till now, nobody sent in a video. Why have your fathers done to you?
They've not done anything.
To wish them Happy Father's Day.
We'll celebrate them in their own special way.
Hey, so you don't want to celebrate your dad on
We'll celebrate
wow,
them.
Interesting. But anyway, Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
I have some amazing fathers in my life, although my biological father is no more, but I have some amazing men who stood in his stead and have been amazing fathers. So happy Father's Day to all of you. If I start mentioning names, I won't finish now, but you know yourselves. And I absolutely love
all of them.
all of you.
Amazing.
And a happy Father's Day to our very own managing director.
Yeah.
Samuel Mensa. So Menz, we love you and we appreciate all you do for us and your leadership.
He's literally called the papacy.
The papacy.
Yeah, very important. Happy Father's Day to everyone, really, all those making it, count, except the other people.
Who's other people?
Oh, some people.
The people who
they born that
and then they leave it.
Come out that
and they forget about
it.
They are not
part.
So if you're not doing your responsibility as a father, please, maybe.
I read somewhere that
a
father is not necessarily one who biologically produced the child, right? A father is one who stood in the gap. So there are many stories like that, right? So I on this occasion, for example, want to use it as a solemn reminder of the noble responsibility of fatherhood. Right, so you can produce, produce there. Everybody can do it, but it is standing up and going through the process of fulfilling their responsibilities thereafter. So I think that we need to use this occasion to remind, all of us of this really important role. I see fathers go through their children's graduation and smile on their, even at this World Cup that's ongoing, right? The last game we played, the Black Stars, a couple of the players who had grown up in the UK, had their dads in there watching them, and you can only imagine the sense of joy and fulfillment and pride, So happy Father's Day once again, of course, to everybody making it count, even at the national level, right? The president serves as a father figure for the entire nation. So we want to wish him, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a happy Father's Day, and that of the former president and former presidents, let me say, John Ajakum Kufuor and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and every single person making it count in their own small way. Yep.
Happy Father's Day to all of them.
But still now, the day we push on, but like
it's not being pushed.
Yeah, like there's still like
the fact that so many people on my timeline just completely ignored it.
There's always that kind of like little hindrance where you don't get to see the day being celebrated. Like by this time,
if it was Mother's Day, we would have started. In April, ending of April, till the second Sunday
it's
of
unbelievable.
May.
But
I mean, we are trying. At least I tried, and nobody minded me. So yeah.
There's no.
But later on, for the first time on Sunday Breakfast, we'll open the phone lines and give people the opportunity so that you can celebrate your fathers. And so when it's time, we'll definitely mention that number that you can send it to. But alternatively, the show is live and interactive, and we'd love to hear from you while we wait for that phone line to be opened. So 0204-447-033, 0204-447-033. That's the number to send a WhatsApp, not the call line, a WhatsApp to, and would love to hear from you so that you can wish your dad a happy Father's Day in the meantime. Alternatively, you can go on our social media pages, hashtag Sunday Breakfast, and we'll read your messages right here on the show for you. But it's now time, before we do that, The Blanksons is a family drama show that airs here on ChannelOne TV every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. with repeats on Fridays 11:30 a.m., Saturdays 7 p.m., Sundays 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays 3 p.m., Wednesdays 5:30 p.m. It's proudly sponsored by Nasco Electronics, Lizzie Chateau, Out Insecticide Mosquito Spray, Everpack, and Lele. And you don't want to miss
Lele.
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 Okay, I didn't know it was Lele.
Lele. You don't want to miss any part of the Blanksons. So we're still in the month of June, and so that means it's still City Business Festival right here at ChannelOne TV. We do encourage all of you who want to open a business, are already small, medium scale enterprises, to join and be a part of the City Business Festival, where we teach you or we empower you to scale up on that business of yours, make export-ready material, introduce you to the experts, finance gurus, tech gurus, packaging gurus, marketing gurus, any guru that you need to scale up your business. You'll definitely find them on City Business Festival. There are on-air series throughout the month. There's also a meaningful conversations also throughout the month, and there is a
processing business fair
as well as your favorite, the auto.
Yes, we're definitely going to have an a discussion on the automotive industry.
Yeah.
You know, the progress we've made, the challenges that still persist. We're going to look at ways, you know, other people can take advantage of the enormous opportunities really within the space, and that will be happening this coming week, you know, as part of the City Business Festival Forum. So it promises to be fun. I'll be moderating that panel, so I'm definitely gassed up for it, right? So you know what to do. Just join in online, join in by, you know, TV, and of course on radio, and let's have a good time.
All right, there's also a boot camp, which is for senior level managers, anybody in managerial positions, and you can call the number 0205973973 for more information on that. That is if there's any available slots. But yes, CBF is proudly in partnership with Absa Bank, and also sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN. What are the other sponsors?
There's Absa Bank and there's Petra Trust, and of course not forgetting Zondatech Ghana Limited, who by the way will be on there. The panel will set up for the automotive industry.
All right.
You know, so it's
going to be fun. We have a few more weeks to go, so don't be left out. Alrighty, it's now time for sports.
Yeah, because a lot is happening.
Exactly.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's still the Sunday breakfast. It's now time to bring you the biggest or the latest sports update as far as the FIFA World Cup 2026 is concerned. Now, we know it's being held in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Some 104 games will be played, 1,248 players are part of this competition. It's 3 host nations, the biggest ever held. And yesterday was quite an interesting one for all of us who are supporting our fellow African brothers, right? Particularly the Ivory Coast. We saw that enthralling game between the Ivory Coast and Germany. It ended 2-1 in favor of Germany, but a lot of people are just, you know, disappointed in how the game finally turned out. So, you know, Ivory Coast started the game very well. They played some really good football, breathtaking football, right? And they took the lead against Germany, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is the team, really," you know. Then they go on a break. It's still 1-0. They come back from the break. Then Germany equalize.
Yeah.
Right. So then it's 1-1 just before the hydration break in the second half, and in extra time, the experience of the German machine came to bear when they just scored, you know, late in extra time to seal a 2-1 win Undav came on the bench to score 2 goals to give the win to Ivory Coast after their captain Kessie had earlier scored to give the Ivorians a lead. So it's an interesting setup because prior to the game, both Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire and Germany had won their opening games. Germany thrashed Curaçao 7-1. Ivory Coast beat Ecuador 1-0. They also scored in extra time. So they both had 3 points. And if Cote d'Ivoire had won that game, they led for the majority of the
They should
game.
have maintained it. I was so disappointed when that last goal went through.
It's brought again concerns around that killer mentality or instinct from African nations when we get to the biggest stage.
Do you think we become comfortable after 1 goal and like we kind of
pretty much that's the
we
kind
lose
of
focus and then
that's the kind of thought process by some analysts. It's like we play very well, we start the game very well, we take the game to them, and towards the dying minutes of the game, for some reason we begin to lose focus. You can say it's true of Ghana as it is of Ivory Coast and many other African countries that have participated at the World Cup. So at the end they drew the game. So what it means now is that Germany have qualified pretty much as group winners with 6 points because they beat Curaçao, they beat Ivory Coast, and they have a goal difference of what's my math? I think 6, right?
Yeah, you said they have 6.
Yeah.
So now if Ivory Coast beat Curaçao, does that mean?
Or 7, actually a goal difference of 7. If Ivory Coast beats Curaçao, they are also pretty much through. I mean, the point is that it's all but certain for Cote d'Ivoire to go. They need pretty much a draw against Curaçao to secure their qualification, because then Ecuador has only a point. So if Ecuador beats Germany, they would also have 4, but they will need a superior goal difference. So Cote d'Ivoire is comfortable. They need to just make sure they have quite some number of goals against Curaçao. They have the quality to face off with Curaçao. So that's with the Germany game. But before the Germany Ivory Coast game, we also saw the Dutch team or the Netherlands take on Sweden. That was also an interesting game. Netherlands were coming into this game having drawn 2-2 with Japan, and the Swedes were coming into the game having beaten Tunisia 5-1, which led to the sacking of the Tunisian coach Lamouchi. So the center of attraction was on that game, and guess what? The Netherlands just blew the Swedes aside, right? 5-1, the game ended. A brace from Brian Broby. Take notice of the name. Brian Broby.
How did we let him slip through our
Brian
fingers?
Broby. And guess who the other scorer of a brace for the game was? He goes by the name Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo. You know, a lot of people think he's Ghanaian. He's actually of Togolese descent. Yeah. But Togo and Ghana.
We're the same. How did we let Brian slip through our fingers? Or we
you can ask this question for many other talents at the World Cup. Right. So if you go to Austria, for example, there's a Danso playing for them. If you go to Ecuador, right, there's a John Yeboah playing for them. It doesn't get more Ghanaian than Danso and Yeboah. You know, there's a Ghanaian player for the German national side, like I think Lewell Link, right? But of course, if you listen to the name, pretty much here and here, right? But there are some other names, like Kobe Mainu.
I remember Antoine Semenyo's mother making a plea to the GFA that they should pay attention to Ghanaians playing outside Ghana and not only come to them like they're an afterthought. I feel like we don't pay attention to people. It's when we feel we need them or a team we want to complete.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
that's
true.
That's
all
true.
of these amazing players are out there. How do we let them slip through our fingers? But the truth also is that
we are a developing country.
And so if you weigh the options...
The resources are not in... it's not like in perpetuity. It's not in abundance in perpetuity. There's
in abundance, yeah, it is. So it's just that we
could make that argument too. You could make the argument too. But of course, the point is that for the kind of limited resources we have for sports development, let's develop the game in-house first. Of course, we need to pay attention to them, but it shouldn't be at the neglect of coach football, of juvenile football, or youth football in the country. So, I know there are many Ghanaian born and Ghanaian raised, professionals playing for different countries at the World Cup. We saw it with the Olympics too, right, where different kinds of individuals, right, were playing. In Canada, there's a Laie who plays for the national team, and the commentators pronounce it as Laria, you know. That's quite interesting every time to listen to. And of course, there's their captain, Alphonso Davis, who was born at the Budumburam camp, refugee camp here in Ghana, you know. So that's it with the games. But of course, Tunisia, after changing their coach, were also in action against Japan. Everybody were, you know, the football fans were looking forward to a very exciting and, you know, renewed style of play after having conceded 5. Guess what they went on to concede? 4 against Japan.
It's a reduction.
It pretty much sends them packing, right? So, and their final group game will be against I think they've not played the Netherlands yet. So the point is that if you are losing to Switzerland and you are losing to Japan, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you have anything special to show against the Dutch national team, which is by far a much stronger side. So
those are the games that happened.
Yeah, pretty much. So from now we know Qatar have been sent packing. Tunisia have also been sent packing, irrespective of their result. Of course, unless they win by some really strong goal margin. But if you look at the kind of football that they've been on in about, it looks very uncertain. All right, so yes, that's it with the games. And of course, yesterday we witnessed a 0-0 draw between Ecuador and Curacao. The big story from the game is that the Curacao goalkeeper Room, who conceded 7 against Germany, has entered World Cup folklore and World Cup history. He's now the second goalkeeper in the entire history of the World Cup to make the most saves.
Wow.
So he's second to Tim Howard of the USA, who in 2014 drew 16 saves against Belgium. Now, Room, with his 15 against Ecuador, has also entered into this really prestigious World Cup roll call as far as goalkeeping is concerned. So congratulations to the team from Curacao, their first ever World Cup point, but they are still waiting for their first, they scored their first World Cup goal, but they are still waiting for their first World Cup win. And hopefully it comes sooner than later. Right.
And let's come home to our own country. I hear Atizigi has been ruled out. Is that
so? There are conflicting reports.
I think I saw another picture where he was training.
Yeah. So a media house put out unconfirmed, right, reports that Lawrence Atizigi, who up until his injury was #1 for the country, is likely to miss the entire World Cup after sustaining an injury in the first half of the Panama game, and it was suspected to be a groin injury. Now, per multiple contrary reports to what GH1 had earlier put out, we have been told that he's engaged in light training and he's been moving about. He did some solo work with the goalkeeper's trainer, Gaspar, and is expected to continue from today up until
our next game,
our final training game before the England clash. So fingers crossed. We are hoping that he's well and fit, because truly and truly he appears to be a better shot stopper at the World Cup. So reports that he's been completely ruled out of the World Cup are unconfirmed and not certified, right, by any proper source. Reports are that he's training, he's engaged in light-hearted training, and very soon will join the team, the full set of the full complement of the boys, to get ready for the England game, which I believe we will win.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
Was Benjamin Asari up to the task? That is, if Atizigi can't.
That would be a big. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so.
You answer Benjamin now, because
no, I genuinely don't think so.
Because I don't think I've heard anything come from you.
I was really, I praised him a lot when he came on in the second half against Panama.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had that's the only praise he's gotten from you.
I just don't think that because of the quality of the league he plays in, he's been battle ready or tested enough at the biggest stage. Against Hurricane is a different ball
game. England?
That's the point. So against Hurricane, against Jude Bellingham, against
that's
Marcus
where the
Rashford,
real test
is
coming. Is that what you're saying?
That is a different kind of test. I won't say real test because Panama in itself was also a test. So I think that Lawrence Atizigi is generally a much better keeper. Doesn't mean Asare in his own right is not good enough, right? So,
but in the case where Ziggy can't play for us,
then it would have to be Asare, and we would have to all come together, motivate and support him to deliver his best for his country, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about the national goal, right? Which is to win and go as far as we can in the competition. So irrespective of who really starts, right, we would have to support the boys regardless. So anyway, that'd be the whole story, Charlie. So gradually we get the sense that the World Cup is taking shape, and we know for a fact that Mexico, the USA, Netherlands pretty much, and Germany have qualified to the next stage of the competition.
So 2 host countries so far.
2 host countries have qualified, but you would also want to say Canada are all but true. They drew their first game and they won their second game by 6 goals. That's
crazy.
Unbelievable. Prior to that game, they hadn't scored more than a goal at the World Cup game. So to think of a team that always scored a goal, you know, now scoring 6. Of course, there were 2 red cards from the Qataris, but they don't care. They scored 6, they have their 3 points, and they are all but certain to qualify.
Okay.
The truth is that the new format of the World Cup means that if you have 4 points, you have a 64% chance of qualification, because there are 8 slots for 3rd best placed team. So 4 points is enough to send you through, and that's why it's disappointing that the likes of Tunisia are conceding 5 and 4, you know, Chaka. So all is set for an interesting World Cup as we narrow down to the next
And our
stage.
game is on Tuesday, right?
Absolutely.
On a lighter note, did you remember that fan who blew the powder? He said his powder is finished, so we should bring him some from Nima Market. To be precise.
Is it only Nima Market that
Yes,
can?
he said precisely Nima Market. So if anybody is coming to the Boston area, they should bring him powder from Nima Market. So if anybody is going, kindly send him some.
Wow. I love how the
camera
World
pan on
Cup,
him.
yeah, all of that, right?
Yeah.
You know, making the bigger point that I like how the World Cup has brought us together as a people, you know, and that is why we love the competition. It's literally called the beautiful game because it unites people. You know, there's an interesting story around how Ivory Coast, you know, in the midst of a civil war that broke out, you know, football was used to bring the rival parties back together, you know, and that charge was led by Didier Drogba, who was captain of the side, and the Toure brothers, another senior Ivorian national team players. And there are many other stories like that, right? In war-torn countries, but, you know, people meet and play football, and in that moment they forget their differences and the things that hold them back as a people. So I see football doing the same here in Ghana, right? After a very tensed political season, bring bills. At the end of the day, we all sit together and watch the football together and support the team together. So long may it continue, right? Long may it continue. But I mean, absolutely,
if our team continues to win, I can promise you that politics will be on the sidelines for a bit longer. Just a tad bit longer. But so I guess that's our sports.
Yeah,
that's
so
World Cup diaries.
There are a lot more games today, so just be on the lookout, and we'll be bringing you exciting, you know, conversations here. World Cup Central on ChannelOne TV airs every Friday at 3 p.m. With the team, I'm on the show as well. You can catch the World Cup updates on radio, City 97.3 FM with DJ Mingle and the City FM Sports Decks. So we've got you covered.
Yeah. Don't forget our socials are also always buzzing. City Sports, GH, always buzzing with the latest.
So engage, share our content, log on to City Sports GH on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Engage the conversations ongoing there. I'm being told it's X.
They should go.
The same
thing.
All one bucket of
Twitter.
So whether it's X or Twitter, just go there. City Sports GHA, engage, like, share. and have fun. Share your thoughts, right? I'll come and reply and also share my thoughts. If you agree, then we continue. If we disagree, those bars. All right, so yeah,
Alrighty, I guess that's a sports for you. We'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
Welcome back. It's now time for the big news review. We get to bring you all the big stories as being reported by the newspapers, online portals, and all of the tabloids right here on Sunday Breakfast, ChannelOne TV, myself, Jude, and Eno. We'll start off with citynewsroom.com. A lot is happening, I must say. The education ministry is in the news. In that sector, there's so much going on, right? There was a viral sexual video from a teacher and a student at the Bole SHS, and that has also got a lot of people talking. Try and bring you that story. But there's also, and I don't know if you've seen the thing where parents are bringing cars to the school to their awards.
Like
the education ministry has responded to it. So the ministry suspends SHS graduation ceremonies. Comes with a photograph of the education minister Haruna Idrisu, member of parliament for Tamale South. Stay focused and resilient. Samia Uku to Baumia. Netherlands, Germany to return 2,000 looted artifacts to Ghana. 2 Christo Asafo members drag church to court over succession dispute. Can Japan's conduct amount to anti-party behavior? That's from Richard Ahiagba, who is Director of Communications for the MPP. I don't trust that Sedina Tamaklo is in custody. Manasseh Azuri speaking there. MPP members more loyal to party than Ghana, and United Parties appear. Dankwa Andrew speaking there. He was on the Big Issue show with Umar Sanda yesterday. Senyo Hosi says, tell Ghanaians where setting a Tamaklo is Senyo Hosi to government. Celebrating Oforiata's US residency ruling shameful. Manasseh Azuri speaking there. Support accountability in Oforiata's matter. Senyo Hosi to US Embassy. And moving on to some other stories here. Business, right? In the business sense, or let me say, yes, or technology-related news. UAE sets minimum social media age at 15, mandates age checks, and there's also Telecel in the Ashanti region have trained 1,000 students in digital skills. So these are some of the big stories on citynewsroom.com and Osafo.
All right, I'm on channel1newsonline.com, channel1newsonline.com. Stories you'll find there. Government halts SHS graduation ceremonies over extravagant concerns. 2 Christo Asafo members seek injunction to block Apostle Kujusafo's successor. Netherlands, Germany to return 2,000 looted artifacts to Ghana. And Ghana sitting on untapped data wealth, EUG director says so. Prison service must disclose Sedina Tamaklo's custody status. Apiadankwa is saying that. Oforiata not evading justice, according to Ahiangba. Oforiata case, no badge of honor in fleeing justice, according to Manasseh Azure. OSP lacked courage to prosecute Oforiata in office. Sapia Dankwa is saying so. Oforiata's U.S. green card, no shield from prosecution. Ahiagba is saying so. Residency approval not to stop Oforiata returns. And Anu Gepa reports 500% growth in Ghana's handicrafts export. Police clamp down on siren abuse. 19 arrested. Thank goodness. South Tongue floodwaters submerged schools, health center in Aduto. And other stories you will find. Okay, no, these are old stories. So yes, those are some of the stories you'll find on channel1newsonline.com.
Ghana News Agency, big story here. Mahama sets up 3 global panels for addressing issues of reparations. We do not seek to reopen old wounds. Mahama declares at Next Steps conference. Mahama leads world leaders to observe Juneteenth at Christenbock Castle. Next Step conference adopts landmark reparatory justice commitments and backs global reparation framework. Chief Justice's visit to Black Stars campus, private and self-funded. That's from the Judicial Service. I know you've been doing a lot of work at the Judicial Service. How are they doing?
They're doing very well, actually.
Celebrating 150 years, right?
150 years
Amazing.
since its inception,
Amazing.
yes.
You know, the
And we'll be
judiciary
telling that story.
I can't wait to see what you guys have for us. You know, the judiciary is a solid pillar of our democracy, yes, without which it can't function, or the democracy can't be. So it's great to see that they've survived all these years, and we wish them the best in the next 150. Amazing. And we'll move on to the vice presidents, right? Professor Nana Jeno-Poku-Agyeman congratulates Black Stars on victory over Panama. Vice President engages members of the Ghanaian community during her visit to Canada, where she joined Otumfuo in the launch of the Sankofa Square.
Yeah.
We are leaving our footprints everywhere. It's unbelievable. I
heard after the Panama game, they had to reroute traffic because all the Ghanaians went to the Sankofa Square and there was a whole jam.
I can imagine. I really can imagine.
Yeah.
Torrential rains, toddler killed, 3 injured in Cape Coast. Unfortunate news in there. No. And the GTMO condemns attack on Forestry Commission checkpoint at Babatokuma. And these are the big stories on GhanaNewsAgency.com.
All right, I am on graphic.com.gh. Stories you'll find. Tripoli Assembly MP hands over projects. I work with whoever Ghanaians elect as president. I am now working with Mahama, Asantehene declares in Canada. Over 1,400 affected by floods in Samaraboy, 2 dead. Court injunction halts installation of Nana Kwadwo Safo Akofena as Christo Asafo leader amid succession dispute. SHS graduation ceremony suspended nationwide after lavish student celebrations. 32nd Rwanda genocide anniversary observed. Ablakwa urges actions to curb extremism and violence. Boundary Commission marks African Border Day at Paga. 74 officers graduate from Ghana Armed Forces Junior Staff Course 85. 4 SHSs in Pandai district receive food support. Improving Afram Plains North's agricultural potentials, peace and love takes initiative. Move beyond reparation rhetorics. Professor Soyinka urges African leaders, and a book on monitoring evaluation practice in Africa launched. Wintumi Exim Bank case adjourned for plea negotiations, and a Cashew Council board has been inaugurated to transform the sector. And those are some of the stories you'll find on graphic.com.gh.
Can I take you to the foreign front? A lot is happening. Whilst the world gather in USA, Mexico, and Canada to play football, elsewhere there are peace talks ongoing. So US-Iran talks to begin in Switzerland as Tehran says it's closed the Strait of Hormuz. Israeli attack or strikes kill 6 people in Gaza, including Al Jazeera cameraman. Officials say. The BBC is also reporting that Colombia's escalating brutal internal conflict is defining its presidential election. France bans alcohol at music festival events where under red heat wave alert. Okay. The UK social media ban, it's about so much more than social media. Now, Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, tells Trump to focus on your own popularity as row escalates. Moving on to some other story, still football related because the World Cup is happening. Tunisia out of World Cup after thumping defeat by Japan. Meets the record equaling goalkeeper who helped Curacao make history, goes by the name Eloy Room. Fastest World Cup to 100 goals in 68 years are the balls and breaks behind it. From factory floor to football star, Germany's super sub Undav in the news, and Premier League stars shine as Netherlands trash Sweden. And also these are the big stories on bbc.com.
All right, I think we can go into some of the stories. So the government halting SHS graduation ceremonies over extravagant concerns. A bit of the story. The Ministry of Education has suspended all senior high school graduation ceremonies nationwide with immediate effect, citing concerns over increasing displays of wealth and flamboyance at such events. The decision follows growing public criticism over what the ministry describes as extravagant conduct during graduation ceremonies in some SHSs involving students, parents, and other stakeholders. In a statement, announcement issued on June 20, 2026, the ministry said graduation ceremonies are intended to recognize academic achievement and personal development and should reflect values of modesty, discipline, and dignity rather than extravagance. You know what? A school of thought also suggests that if we should, SHS is now free. So these people who are showing extravagant display of wealth obviously can afford to pay for school fees.
So
right?
you make them pay.
No, so I'm saying that we should scrutinize the free SHS.
Yeah.
If you can afford to pay for your child, I think you should pay for your child
Yeah.
because, people genuinely can't afford it. And so they are the ones who should benefit from the free SHS. But if you can afford to pay for your child, pay for it.
There's a term for it. It's called target something. It was popularized, or I had Professor, the former UG Vice Chancellor, Professor Ernest Aite, talk about it, right? So basically, you target and create the policy around that those who can pay should pay. I mean, we had a point, it's been a debate that's been lingering on for some time. We had the likes of even Mustafa Hamid, who was then in government as minister.
Yeah.
Not Mustafa Hamid, I beg your pardon. We had the likes of Keno Foriata, when he was finance minister, say that he can afford to take his child to Achimota and pay for about a couple more students, right? So why should his child go through or benefit from free SHS? Whereas there's some charcoal seller down the street somewhere who barely has ends meeting for her, So the point is that we need to make it a more targeted approach, right? Where those who really need it are made to go through the process free, and every other person is, because you can afford to take off about 3 people in school.
Amen.
And not feel it. Because again, the point is that back in the day when we were in school, the fees for day students was not up to even 100 cedis back in the day, So
what's it back in the day?
Oh yeah. I mean, and if you even want to adjust for inflation, right?
Yeah.
Let's say now these students are probably paying 200 cedis or 300 cedis, And I'm talking about a cracker. There were times I saw the students pay school fees 76 cedis, 92 cedis. So the whole idea of the free SHS, not quite. Anyway, but clearly, at that stage, the kind of values you want to instill in children, in my opinion, shouldn't be one of, opulence and all of that. Of course, you can celebrate your child. You know what you went through in getting the child up to that level. Nobody's saying that don't show love or don't be appreciative of their efforts to go through school. But there are ways, or in my opinion,
I don't think
there
the
are
school
more
compound is the right place.
acceptable ways to go about it. And I don't think there should even be a problem for anyone at all.
Some people have the view that, but we see the other schools, the private schools do their
promise.
And I'm like, yeah, but that's a private school, and we know that the affluent or those who can afford take their kids there. So that's what they do. But if you're in a public school where government is paying for you, we don't expect you to come and show all of that there.
To be,
I mean, come on. I think it was a bit too much. You can have a party at home.
At best, you can make a moral argument out of it,
and
right?
gift
Because
a child
to be very fair, you don't get to determine how I celebrate my child.
True.
If my child is of age to drive a car,
it is, which you are not after SS. How old are you?
So some of them are 18 after SS.
Okay, but so do they have a
driver's license? We don't know. But even if some people go to school late and can be after, and they can be, and so the point is that you don't get to also police how people parent their children unless it's causing some level of injury or abuse.
But I can determine what you do on my campus.
At the school?
Yes, it is my campus.
Oh.
And I can determine what you can and cannot. Just like we have rules, you can come and visit us on the first Sunday of every month.
You determine what I do if it is illegal or it is contrary to the law. The parents, I'm on the same page with you. I'm just trying to pull some things out.
Okay.
The parents who are buying cars for their, have they broken any law?
No.
So what is the point?
The point is the extravagance on the campus.
But have they told you that it is extravagant?
We are telling them that it's extravagant.
No, but that's the point. You don't get to set the law through your lenses. right? So I think that at best an appeal and say, you know, we don't want you to do this because of so and so. But you also can't. No.
So I'm saying
if
that
somebody buys
I'm not
CRV
saying
for their
don't
child,
buy your child a car. I'm just saying that do
don't
not
flash
present
it in the faces of
other students.
because
Do not do it on my campus.
what's the reason? What's the reason?
Do not do it on my campus.
What's the reason?
Pardon?
What's the reason for you not wanting them to do it on campus?
I feel it's a bit extreme.
How is it extreme?
In the sense that there are kids who are...
They don't have.
Exactly.
But they have not will always be with that in society. So
I get it, but sometimes you don't want to feel some sort of tension.
what tension? For all you might know, the Honda Civic they bought for that child is the least of what the parents can do. Maybe they don't
Exactly. That's why they should be paying school fees.
Maybe they wanted to even buy
that's why they should be paying school fees.
and they bought a Civic. So in
That's
their
why they
in
should
their
be paying
estimation,
school fees.
but I mean generally, I agree that you can't dictate to parents how they express love, provided it's being done in accordance with the law.
It's done appropriately.
You know, and of course there's also unspoken law, and also there's the morality code. I think that in instances like this, we should appeal more to the morality code, in that we don't want children getting exposed to certain things at a certain age, right? And that, you know, of course you can do what you want to do, but let's all be guided about making sure that we instill in them the right values and the right ideals around life,
right.
You know, and if you bring a car to campus, to what effect, like, so other children see it, I don't think that is the best way to go about it, right? So, yeah, anyway.
All right, what story do you have for us?
Christo Asafo, you know, they're in the news, right? Yes, so the Christo Asafo Church, 2 of their members have dragged the church to court over a succession dispute. We know the funeral is scheduled to take place later in the year, and they are donating, the family is not donating, rather, they are sending out invites, right, to, you know, high-profile personalities, you know, national leaders. In fact, some of the people have, like, I think they call it a platinum invite.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, where they give you an iPad. So, like, the funeral details and everything is on the iPad. Yeah, you know, the high tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, high tech. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
There was a video of them calling on the family and the children calling on former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
I've seen them also donate to, invite. I don't know why I keep saying donate. Invite, send an invitation to MPP's flag bearer, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. But anyway, 2 members of the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana have filed a suit at the Accra High Court seeking to enforce the constitutional framework governing the succession to leadership of the church following the death of its founder, Apostle Kojo Safo Kantanka. The plaintiffs, Kweku Ejenim Boatin of Agogo and Kumasi and Seth Apia Richard Brown, have sued the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana and 4 others, including Israel Kojo Safo, also known as Nana Kojo Safo Akofena, Festus Owusu Bedu, Dr. Kojo Adodro, and Robert Intifo. In a writ filed on June 18, 2026, at the General Jurisdiction Registry of the High Court in Accra, the plaintiffs are seeking several declarations and orders on the interpretation of the church's governing constitution. They are asking the court to declare that the 2017 constitution of the Christo Asafo Mission and its amended 2024 version remained supreme laws regulating the affairs of the church. They are also seeking a declaration that succession to the office of the leader of the church must be conducted strictly in accordance with provisions of both constitutions. Additionally, the plaintiffs are asking the court to interpret the relevant constitutional provisions and declare that the second defendant, Israel Kojo Safo, also known as Nana Kojo Safo Akofena, is not qualified to be appointed, installed, or presented or recognized as the leader of the Christo Asafo Mission of Ghana. They are further seeking an order restraining him from holding himself out or allowing himself to be held out as the head or leader of the church. The legal action comes in the aftermath of the death of Apostle Kojo Safo Kantanka on September 11, 2025, a development that has triggered succession discussions within the church. And we know that the funeral arrangements have been scheduled for 30th July 2026 at Gomwa in Pota in the central region. And the National Funeral Service is expected to follow on July 31 at the Independence Square in Accra. So I think the big question is, can there be a funeral of a high-profile person in the country and not have legal disputes about succession, about estate management, and all of the things that usually come out.
I feel like sometimes, right, when you're alive, just write your will, put it down.
But the church has a constitution, so I think it should be pretty straightforward, right?
So then why all of these issues?
Yeah, but it's always the case, even we look at the current crop of apostolic fathers, as you have it. So generally, when I say apostolic fathers, leaders of churches in Ghana who pretty much started the charismatic wave.
It normally happens within the private churches. I mean, unorthodox.
Which one is it? Which one is a public church?
Unorthodox churches.
Which is a public church?
Within the Catholic Church,
to be fair, they are public churches actually, because the Ghana Police Service and the military, they all have churches. But I get your point. You
get my point.
But
so within the Catholic Church, we know how the succession plan is. It's laid down, traditional churches. Yeah. So I feel like this happens in the non-traditional churches a lot. And if there's a constitution, which I believe there is, just follow the constitution and let everybody be happy.
Churches are not businesses, right? Because they don't run on a business, what's it called, license,
right?
They don't go to the office of the business. Most of them run as NGOs.
Okay.
And of course, they have their succession plans. But I was making a point that with the apostolic fathers, we've seen a trend where their children are stepping up for them, right? And I don't want to mention this, but I mean, recently there was even some backlash. There was a pastors' kids conference, where, instead of seeing the regular names in the charismatic faith, mount the podium and do the talking, the exhortation, the teaching, and the likes. This time it was their kids.
Right.
And top of your head, if I tell you to mention 5 or 10 of the biggest charismatic churches we have in Ghana, you'd see a trend where all of them have their kids in very important roles. Almost like setting them up to take over the church. So
So is that in the constitution that if I am no more, my child succeeds?
I've not seen their constitution.
We need to go and see the constitution.
But the story from Christo Asafo is such that there's a structure.
Right.
And they even say that they developed a constitution in, I think, 2017, and they amended it in 2024. And they believe that should kick in, rather than the second defendant, who goes by the name Israel Kojo Safo, purporting to hold himself out as the next leader of the church. So maybe there'll be some deacon in there somewhere, or some junior pastor in there somewhere who has to take over the church, but we don't know that for sure, right? And I don't know. I mean, the Pentecost Church, Assemblies of God, Apostolic, they have a recognized structure. So for the Pentecost Church where I worship, for example, there's someone nominated by the General Council or the Executive Council of the church, after which an election is held, like proper election. So a yes or no vote, right? And they vote. If you win majority, yes. Usually, those who are chosen will win in excess of about 90%, 95, 96%.
So that's what.
So that's how the leaders are chosen. But of course, they say that they have to hear from God.
Okay.
Who,
So it's sort of similar to the conclave in the Catholic Church, where after a pope dies, they go into a conclave. They have a few of the
deliberations.
They deliberate. They choose.
Then what are they called? The cardinals, right?
Yes, they choose some of the cardinals. They're elected or they're voted upon, and then we, the lay people outside, when we see the smoke,
white or
if the
black
smoke is black, they haven't chosen a leader. If it's white,
they've
elected a new
smoke
leader.
To me that they haven't chosen a leader.
I can't help you there.
Signify, anyway, that's my.
So white signifies that we have a new leader.
Anyway,
so I mean, sometimes lay down rules make it quite simple.
Yeah. So the people are saying, let's follow the lay down rule.
Yeah. So let's follow the lay down rules.
Has the father built a church before?
No.
Has the father owned a church?
No. My father took me to the Catholic Church.
My father owns a church. You see the rules different. So that'll be the whole story. But yeah, we expect that the law will take its course, right?
Definitely.
So, we wish
I don't think they should mar
his legacy
by
disputing this for long.
Exactly, because he really had a good legacy. I've seen a few of his cars around. I think when they came to the Supreme Court to present the invite to the CJ, we were there shooting for the documentary. So we saw like the whole entourage.
They were driving Kantanka
Yeah, they were driving
cars.
Kantanka cars as well as other cars, but there were Kantanka vehicles in there.
Which one was more?
Oh, Jude, you're not going to set me up for this.
No, because on social media, when they sent the invitation to His Excellency, the former President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I've seen videos where there were different brands of vehicles.
Yeah, there are different brands within
And
the
I didn't see any Kantanka actually, so it's
okay.
interesting
No,
that you're
there was a
mentioning.
few Kantanka vehicles in there.
A few.
A few Kantanka vehicles in there.
A few.
Emphasis
on a few.
A few Kantanka vehicles in there. Yeah.
All right, so that'll be the whole story. I think these are the big stories generally. I don't know if you have any other story you want to share with us.
No.
Sedina Tamaklo.
Where is she? You've been going to the courts lately.
Yeah, but
that's not the right place to go.
Yeah, she's not being held at the court.
Okay, so I'll call the prison service and ask them. They should show us a paper trail.
Manasseh Azuri Awuni says that he doesn't trust that Sedina Tamaklo is in police custody, and I'm trying to bring you excerpts of that story.
Okay.
All right. So it's on citynewsroom.com. Big headline story. I don't trust that Sedina Tamaklo is in prison custody. Hold on, my internet just. All right, so excerpts of the story reads: investigative journalist Manasseh Azuri Awuni has raised concerns over the whereabouts and custody of convicted former microfinance and small loan center Maslok Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, urging authorities to be transparent about her exact location and detention arrangements. Speaking on the big issue on City FM on Saturday, June 20, Manasseh said he does not accept assurances that Sedina Tamaklo is currently in custody, arguing that official communication on the matter has not been sufficiently clear. Now, this is quote. He says, long before her coming in, I have heard, and many people in Ghana have also heard, that we have a system in this country where some influential people, when they are convicted and said to be in jail, don't actually go to prison, he said. He suggested that sections of the public believe some convicted persons are kept in undisclosed locations and occasionally moved in and out of custody, a practice he described as troubling. It's a whole lot of mess, he said, and the story goes on and on and on. So I think to quell all of this rumor, we saw Agrada, right, in prison. She was also she was or is still a very high profile person. I think the Ghana Prison Service should come out to clear the air. I mean, we've heard the Government Communications Minister, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, say that she's in custody, and so we have every right to believe so, right? But it's in the interest of those who have doubts and continuously raise concern around how the law treats high-profile persons to just come out and, clearly show and explain to us where Madam Sedina is being held. I hear she's appealing, and we'll be following that case also very keenly. So, these are the big stories. I don't know if you have any final thing to share before we wrap up.
Nope.
All right, then we'll take a quick break. All right, so that's all time will allow us for our news review segment right here on Sunday Breakfast, ChannelOne TV. Don't go away. There's a lot more still to come. Welcome back. This is still Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV. It's now time for our health segment. We have our guests joining us, a regular on the show, and we're always privileged to have it. Doc, welcome.
Thank you.
How have you been?
Very well, and you?
We are thriving. We're thriving. The health minister celebrated his birthday this week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I wasn't aware.
I didn't see that.
Happy belated to
I didn't
him.
see that doctors. You people wished him.
Oh, now I am wishing him happy belated birthday.
It's too late.
It is too late.
Last week, I want us to just recap what we did last week, right? Just a brief thought, just because there were messages we couldn't deal with. So we discussed And can you help us?
No, I can't.
We discussed.
Now it's time for you to give me.
Yeah.
What we discussed.
We discussed. I've forgotten the term. The word.
Bony exostosis.
Yes.
Yeah. So bony
just
exostosis.
a brief summary of it before we move on.
All right. So last week we spoke about bony exostosis or tori or toris, and we mentioned that there are benign growths that do happen it can happen in almost every part of the body, but we concentrated on the ones that do happen within the jaws.
Yeah.
So either it's happening very close on the lower jaw, close to where the tongue is, where you call it an exostosis that is related to the mandible, or when it happens to the roof of your mouth, which is where the palate is. And that one you call it torus palatinus, where it happens in the midline. And it can grow as big as much as big to the extent that it can actually cause some functional problems to the patient. And we mentioned that it's very important that you are able to distinguish between that and then other cancerous lesions within the body.
Interesting.
So that you are not, you don't end up having some fears associated with it. It is very harmless, and the only time that you may want to do something about it would be if it is causing functional deficits, and then also if you may have to use where it is actually, wherever that it has formed, that region, if you need that region as a form of retentive area for a prosthesis that needs to be placed in there. And then we went on to talk about the signs and symptoms and how to be able to recognize it as soon as possible and then visit if it's becoming complicated. But the baseline was the fact that it is non-cancerous, and
so
it is non-cancerous, and you shouldn't be very, very alarmed when you see it. But you have to be sure that that is what it is, because it has other mimics.
So today we'll be discussing another benign condition, prostatic hyperplasia.
Yes, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Usually we call it BPH or even prostate enlargement.
BPH almost sounds like HBP.
HPV.
Yeah, you know.
No.
Yeah.
So BPH, yes. So benign prostatic hyperplasia. It has to do with the prostate.
And what's its epidemiology?
Okay, so benign prostatic hyperplasia is the prostate. So the prostate has to do with it's a gland, and that gland is located, it's a small gland, it's usually located just below the bladder, and then it surrounds where the urethra is, and it is within males. You find it in males. Females do not have prostate, so it's only the males who do have prostate. So when you have that particular gland, it's becoming hyperplastic, or you have cells within that gland start to divide and they become enlarged to the extent that they end up causing an obstruction to the flow of urine. Then we see that that person has BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Oftentimes it is quite common, and it's the risk of you developing it increases with age. So patients who are 40 years and above have a risk. So the risk, I would say, is between about 20, as low as 20% to as high as 90%. So if you are about 60, 70 years, your risk of developing BPH is about 90%, as opposed to somebody who is 40, where we start off with maybe 30% or 20% chance of you developing BPH. And what happens is that, so let's look at how important it would be in the sense that urine is produced. The prostate gland doesn't produce urine, but then the symptoms that the patient will present with would be urinary, in the sense that where is urine produced? Urine is produced in the kidneys. So the kidneys, you have your kidneys there, and then from your kidneys, the urine that is produced goes through some tubes. We call them the ureters. And these tubes will then direct the urine into the bladder, where it is temporarily stored until you have the opportunity to void. You get it? So if you have the opportunity to void, it will go through the urethra. So if you look at this picture, you see that this is showing just above. You see this small tube, and that is the ureter. So your kidneys are above that. So from your kidneys it comes to the ureter, then that is the muscular structure there. It's the bladder where it is to be temporarily stored. And then it will come through the urethra to outside or externally. So now when you look at the bladder, just below it, there's this small structure there. Now that structure is what we call the prostate. Okay, and it is just around where the urethra is. So it wraps around the urethra at some point within its journey. So now imagine that you have that region, the cells there becoming bigger or multiplying to the extent that they cause some obstruction to the whole flow of the urine. So that is what we call the BPH, and it's very, very common, as I have mentioned, about 90% chance of you, and it increases your chances of getting it increases with age. So this will bring us to maybe some of the risk factors associated. The first risk factor is being male. Yes.
There's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it. Being male and having a prostate. Then secondly would be your age. So as you age, your chances are higher. And then another could also be obesity. Obesity in the sense that fats, when you have a lot of fat within the system, there's something we call the aromatase. So this aromatase, what it does is that we have testosterone. So testosterone is a type of hormone. It's a sex hormone that is produced. Now this sex hormone, what's the aromatase does that it usually would break it down. So when it breaks it down to estrogen. So now there's something we call balance. So estrogen, testosterone. So if you have one becoming higher than the other, the body will have to reprogram to produce the other more. So now you end up having some testosterone formed. Now this testosterone, we have something within the prostate gland that's there's an enzyme. Now that enzyme, what it does is that it breaks down this testosterone into what we call the hydrotestosterone. Now that's hydrotestosterone, what it does is that it causes the cells within the prostate to start to multiply and become bigger. So it's just a negative feedback saying that, hey, there isn't enough testosterone, so let's do and then produce. So then it senses that, okay, since there isn't enough testosterone within the system, so it's either we produce. So how do we produce? Let's multiply. Then you end up getting the multiplication of the prostate gland. So looking at this picture that has been shown, you notice that there are two of them. One on the left side and then one on the right side. One is showing the bladder, where you temporarily will store your urine when it's produced. And then it will go through that channel inferiorly or downwards. That's the urethra. And then to the external. And you can see that there are two glands there, and that is the prostate. So when you turn your attention to the other picture, you notice that that's the prostate in that picture has grown so big to the extent that it is obstructing the channel or the urethra. So then it becomes very difficult for such a patient to be able to void without any challenges. And as you can see, it can even cause the muscles of the bladder to start to hypertrophy. And then there are other complications that may come in as and when, if it is not treated as soon as possible, if not given the right attention. So when we want to talk about some of the signs and symptoms associated with BPH, most of them are urinary. So there's something we call frequency. Frequency is the sense that sensation that I would want to void. So as often as possible, oftentimes you just feel like you would want to void. That is frequency. The other could be urgency. So you get that strong feeling that I would want to void, but then it's not coming. Get it? And then nocturia. Nocturia is the sense that oftentimes when you sleep, you don't often wake up frequently to go and then use the washroom, unless maybe you may have taken a lot of water, or you would have,
the night before.
or you have taken some alcohol and
So
diuretic.
if I get you correctly, having to pee in the middle of your sleep is normal.
Yes, it's normal. Other things can
Induce it.
precipitate it. Yes, like maybe just before I go to bed, I've taken a lot of water, so my body has produced a lot of urine. So if my body, or even in the cold weather meaning that you don't perspire or you don't sweat. So a lot of the urine will then, a lot of the water will be retained, and then it will be produced as urine. So you may wake up maybe once to go and pee. But in situations where you have to wake up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times within that short time of sleep, could be one of the
So
reasons.
with a BPH, is it also accurate to say that when you have like very uncontrolled sudden urge to always, pass out pee, you're on the line towards
It's very likely, because they are, as I said, a lot of them are urinary symptoms. So from frequency to urgency to even something we call dribbling. So certain times you have that, there's that hesitancy. Hesitancy in the sense that you really want to pee, you get to the washroom, and then it's very difficult to even initiate the first pee because of that obstruction that is there.
Sounds
and then
very,
even
very
if you
serious.
do initiate it, you notice that the stream is weak. So the stream is just the flow, how forceful the stream is, and then the speed at which you get the stream. You notice that it has slowed down and is weak. And then you would also notice that you are straining, you are increasing your intra-abdominal pressures just to be able to pee.
Talk to us
So
around
that's training.
the
So
I
those
don't
are some
know
of them.
if there's a psychology to it, because there are times where you generally feel like you want to pee. You're able to hold it for God knows how long.
Yes.
But the thought of a washroom close by, so for example, you held it for like an hour, you were driving, you were fine. And then you get to where a washroom is, and for that 10 seconds interval, it's almost like you can't even hold it again.
Yes.
Is that a problem too? Is that a BPH problem?
It's actually no. It's not a BPH problem.
Or it's psychology?
Yes, psychologically, it's a normal programming system where when you are not close by to a place where you can freely, or socially acceptable place where you can freely pee, it helps you to hold it.
Right.
But then the moment you get to that, sometimes even just the shower, just listening to the flow, the sound of the shower can, program you to want to pee. So it is a very normal thing that happens with hormones. Psychologically, it wires you up, and then you are able to do that. Yes. But then this BPH, we are saying that you have that urge, but when you get there,
It's not there.
yes, there's something we call hesitancy. It can hurt. So imagine you see the picture that we showed. The bladder is there, it is filled up, and it's unable to come out. Certain times there's something we call acute urinary retention. Very, very painful. Very painful, where the bladder would be filled up, but it can't, or the obstruction cannot be relieved. And then these patients will end up having lower abdominal pain. Very, very painful lower abdominal region. And then aside that, it would be filled up. So you know that yes, it is actually from urine that is there. And in such cases, you would quickly have to pass a catheter to be able to relieve the obstruction or the retention that is there. You get it. So it can be very, very painful, especially when you get into acute urinary retention. Imagine not only that, not only the acute urinary retention, some of the other complications could be that it can track up. The urine can stay there and then can track up and go back to where it is produced, which is where your kidneys are. So when it goes back there, there's something we call hydronephrosis. So then it can stay there, and then it can end up causing dilatation of the kidney structures in there, and then you may even end up with what we call acute kidney injury.
Wow.
You get it? So that can also, and oftentimes when it stays there, when you have urine staying there and not being relieved or not coming out when it's supposed to come out, then it can cause what we call UTIs. So you can end up having a UTI as well.
Get UTIs.
Exactly. So the men can also get a UTI, that's urinary tract infection. The urine can also stay there, and then you end up causing forming nidus for calculi to form or stones to form. So stones can also form in that region. When there's so much pressure on the bladder, the other thing that can cause is that it can cause out pouchings of the bladder. So we call it bladder diverticuli. That can also form, and then it can, when it stays there for a very long time, nothing is done about it, can end up with your chronic urinary retention and then even renal failure. So these are some of the complications that can happen with it. And then oftentimes, even with this is just in terms of the whole urinary system. Oftentimes, when this stays for a very long time and you have other risk factors, it can end up becoming prostate cancer. So that's the risk of it developing or transforming into a cancer is also there. So these are some of the signs, I mean, yes, some of the complications as well as the signs and symptoms that patients with BPH may end up presenting with. So very, very prevalent, and not only very prevalent, but the symptoms associated with it has to do with urine, and then how you can void urine, and that becomes very, 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 very difficult for these patients. And it's sometimes becomes so much, it becomes a relief when you have a very full bladder, and the only thing is that you just want to pee.
I can imagine.
And once that's
so there are elements of lifestyle choices in there, right? Because you mentioned obesity.
Yes.
So is it fair to say it's a lifestyle disease?
No, not necessarily. Not only lifestyle. So if once, as I mentioned, one of the main reasons is being male, and then genetic predisposition is also there. So if you have a parent who must have had BPH, the chances are that their children may end up having BPH at an earlier age than
I know
usual.
some people really like their beer, like they are always drinking beer. Is it a cause for worry?
Yes, so beer in the sense that alcohol in itself is a diuretic. Diuretic in the sense that it causes you to pee a lot. Just like tea, just like caffeine, all of these to cause you to pee a lot. Now, if you already have the cells of your prostate enlarged, you get it, then it means that it will, you oftentimes, even we would say that during the evenings, because of chances of nocturia, that's the urge to be able to pass urine multiple times at night, you get it. In order to reduce that symptom, we may say that, okay, when you are getting to your bedtime, reduce the amount of water that you drink so that you don't end up producing a lot of urine, then you may end up having the nocturia symptom. Same with alcohol. So that means getting to your bedtime, you may have to reduce the amount of alcohol that you are taking, because that will mean that the alcohol would cause diuresis, and then that's more production of urine, and you may end up having more of the signs and symptoms related to it. And then, as we mentioned, the obesity has the fats within the body, has various hormones in there that would cause you to either produce more of the estrogen, produce more of the growth hormones that may end up causing the growth of this prostate gland that we are talking about. Certain times, obesity too is another risk factor for even diabetes. So insulin resistance, and that can also lead to the production of certain growth hormones that would also lead to the hyperplasia or the increase in the numbers of this gland, the cells within the gland, and then eventually you end up with the BPH. So this picture in the background is also showing the same. I think we have discussed it already, but this is just giving us a very pictorial view, a lateral view of it. So sagittally, when you take a view, you would see that the same thing, the urine has been produced, and you can see the bladder that's on the picture on the left side. So that's your bladder there. That is your prostate gland, just beneath it, and then that is where it is also wrapping around the urethra. So you can see the urethra all the way, and it's going through the penile shaft or the penis down all the way where it would come out externally. So when somebody, and then the picture on the right side is showing that in a patient where the prostate has enlarged. So you can see the obvious obstruction, that is, it has narrowed the urethra on that region.
Right.
And that will mean that this patient will end up having difficulty with urination, with frequency, with urgency, and all the other symptoms, the urinary symptoms associated with.
How do you
a
treat
developed-
this?
Okay, so treatment would be in various levels.
Okay.
So the first level we want to talk about is lifestyle modification, which we have mentioned, but that would do some part of the work to help reduce the risk or doubling your risk or worsening your symptoms. Now the other thing will be medical management. Now the medical management has to do with certain medications that you can be given. So some of the medications that can be alpha blockers, like your tamsulosin. So what do? They cause some relaxation so that the bladder, the urine within the bladder can freely flow. The other could be that there are certain medications we call the 5-alpha reductase. So it's a blocker. It will block a particular enzyme that changes testosterone into the hydroxy testosterone or the hydrotestosterone that I mentioned. So once it reduces that, and that's active part of the testosterone, what it does is that it causes the prostate cells within the prostate gland to multiply. Okay, so if you are able to block that particular enzyme, what it does is that it shrinks the prostate gland. So the prostate gland does not end up becoming hyperplastic or enlarging in its size. Certain times, depending on how you are doing or depending on a particular patient, you may give a combination of the two. So to relax the muscles and then also to shrink the prostate tissue itself or the gland itself. And then there is also a role for surgical management. So if you try these medical treatments and you notice that it has very little role to play, or this patient is not responding to the medical management or the drug therapies, then you can go into the surgical aspect. So the surgical management will be where sometimes there's something we call transurethral resection of the prostate, where you would pass a scope in there and then you would end up reducing or resect some of the prostate gland to a sizable level, so that you don't end up having that obstruction at that region. And so there's medical management or conservative, which we have mentioned, the lifestyle modifications, then the medical management, and then you can come to the surgical management as well. But all of these needs to be diagnosed, and for it to be diagnosed from your history, where you would have a thorough history taking, and then you are able to tell all these signs and symptoms from the person's history. Then you would want to examine the patients. And the examination is usually, you would be able to, when you look at the pictures that we show, notice that the rectum is just behind where your prostate is. So if you are able to stick a finger through the rectum, you are able to examine the prostate very well. So you examine the prostate through the digital rectal examination to be able to tell where the
I don't know other ways
other ways
of checking.
That's the best way to check.
Stick a finger.
Stick a finger
And
and
with
then
the
you check.
glove on and all
Oh yes,
that.
glove.
Of
hand.
course.
Yes,
Ew.
glove hand. Yes. And
But
then
Doc, can you live without your prostate? Like in a case where it has to be completely surgically removed?
Oh yes, in certain times you may have to, especially when we come to the cancer cases.
Okay.
Yes, where you would have to take it. So what the prostate gland does is that it produces seminal fluid, and that fluid helps with your semen. Okay, yes, during
Is that the
ejaculation
process
and all
called
of that.
vasectomy?
Vasectomy.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Vasectomy
completely
has to,
different.
yes, vasectomy has to do with you tying out all those tubes that help transport your semen to upwards to the penis, and then it goes, then it can. So that's not it. So you're tying out those.
So the
But
prostate
this has to do,
produces
So the prostate, yes, it produces the seminal fluid.
seminal
so that
fluid,
fluid,
so not the semen.
no,
but the
no,
seminal
yes,
fluid.
Yes, so
Okay.
that fluid that helps with it protects the sperms. Okay, so it comes with the semen, so it protects the sperms. It helps nourish it, all of those. So it's just a fluid that helps, and then it even makes it a little lighter so that it can travel.
There's a school of
along.
thought that if you have a lot of sex, you won't have prostate issues.
If you have a lot of sex, no, not necessarily, not necessarily. But what I would say is that oftentimes the urge to have sex and all of those reduces, or your libido reduces as you age. You get it? And it has to do with the sex hormone testosterone. Now this testosterone is reduced, but once it is reduced as you are aging, the body tries to find a balance. So in its way to find a balance, then there is production of, or you are able to retain that active part of the testosterone that helps with the proliferation of the gland in there. So then now more of the cells of the gland start to proliferate, and then it becomes, or it enlarges. You get it? So that is basically what happens when it comes to BPH and the associated, But it's very common, it's very common. As you age, you know, a lot of people, for females, it has to do with your breasts. But then when it comes to the males, it has to do with your prostate. Yes, it has to do with your prostate.
Right.
So it's a very, very common and important health topic that our men would have to benefit from.
Why watching my face?
Because you're a male.
I mean, I'm learning.
But
so
are
that's-
there, can males who don't like going to the hospital, if I should say, can they get it periodically checked?
Oh yes, yes. So it's advised that once you hit age 40, you have to have a periodic check of your prostate.
It's 40.
It's 40, yes.
And
so
the
once
only
you
way is
get
through
there,
the anus.
yes, and then also, you know, there's something I didn't mention, PSA, which is a hormone, yes, that is produced within the prostate, and it's able to tell you there are levels beyond the normal levels. If it goes beyond that level, you can suspect maybe a lesion happening, like a cancer within it. So periodically, when you do take your blood samples and then you check for your PSA, or as I mentioned, 40 and above, you start checking. So you're able to screen as part of your annual screening panel that you do, to be able to tell that, okay, my PSAs are normal, or my PSAs have gone beyond, or my PSAs have become low. So based on that, you're able to quickly do the other necessary checks. But for the investigations, as I said, you would have to do your digital rectal examination, check for the prostate clinically. Then you can do other things. The other things could be, you can do an ultrasound around it. There's something we call a cystoscopy. So it's just an endoscope. So a small flexible wire that goes through with a camera at the end. So you're able to visualize, to be able to tell the nature of the prostate, and then if there are any abnormalities related to it as well. So there are a number of ways to do the investigation, but the easiest is to do your DRE, which is your digital rectal examination, when you get to the hospital. Yeah.
Right. It being Father's Day, I hope
You are learning.
men have learned one or two things, and that you go and get it checked.
Yeah.
I think
so
regardless of your
daughters,
age,
mothers can give them a voucher to go get it checked.
Yeah, that's our Father's Day gift for the men.
Yeah.
Go and get your prostate checked.
Yeah, very important.
Listening to you, I have a sudden urge to pee. I don't know whether I don't know whether it's my breakfast or it is what you have said. But clearly, I have to go and do a test. No, but I'm not age 40, so I have to.
But still, you
can get it checked. Just like when it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Exactly.
You know,
so now it's important that the men also do check there. In fact, there's a month for prostate cancer awareness. I think it's either after October or July. I'm not too sure, but I'll check it out and then get it. Yes, where we have to raise the awareness and get all our men checked as soon as possible.
Dr. thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've learned a lot. I can see Jude is processing a lot.
I mean, I was taking notes even at the point. I'll go back and watch it on YouTube.
Yes,
so,
please do.
Our viewers, right?
Yeah.
Please do as well to go back and watch it if you missed any bit of it on social media, or if you missed this live bit we're having right now, you can go back on social media and watch it for yourself. It was a really exciting interview.
Prostate Cancer Awareness Month is actually on in September. Yeah, September. All right, so those of you who sent in messages for your fathers, today being Father's Day, we have collaborated. We have edited it. I said compiled. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. We've compiled it, and here it is.
When I think about loyalty, when I think about provision, when I think about support, and when I think about love, among the many men in my life, there's one name that sits on top of the list, and that is my father, Mr. Samuel Tegu. On this special occasion of Father's Day, from all 4 siblings of mine, my husband and myself, we want to take this opportunity to wish Mr. Samuel Tegu a happy Father's Day. God bless you so much, Daddy, for all you have been to us throughout the ages, throughout the years. You have been a constant reminder of who a father is supposed to be. And we do not take your love, we do not take your support, we do not take your provision, we do not take your loyalty for granted at all. God richly bless you, and may He grant you all your heart's desires. Happy Father's Day once again, Mr. Samuel Tegu.
Happy Father's Day to Mr. Pondankwa. On behalf of your children, we want to wish you a Father's Day. We say we are grateful. You have indeed taught us well. You taught us how to work hard. You taught us how to stand tall, and even to treat people not only by words but how we learn. Any age power if we earnest, ever Amos, ever Frank, ever Gina, ever Michael, ever Jennifer, they say it's our prayer that the Lord bless you with more life, the Lord bless you with good health, prosperity, and that the many more years that are yet to come will be filled with joy, peace, and rest and honor, because you deserve it all. In fact, you deserve the Best Dad Award, because you have been very great. You have been a great role model to each and every one of us. I'm sure we pray and we love you. We are so proud to call you our Father, and we are so proud to be your children. Thank you, and Ayiko. Happy Father's Day once again.
Happy Father's Day to you, Dr. Bernard Bedu Akwa. You've been such an amazing father to we, your children. And we just want to say, God richly bless you. May He grant you long life. And may you be successful in whatever you do. We love you so much.
Happy Father's Day, Mr. Henry Kwesi Forsen. Thank you so much. To say thank you is just an understatement. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for the many sacrifices. Thank you for the years of prayers, for encouragement, for your strength, for the constant provision by the grace of God. Thank you for leading effortlessly by the grace of God. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for encouragement. Thank you, most importantly, for leading me to Jesus. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. To all my amazing senior brothers who also doubles to be my father, thank you. I love you all and appreciate you all. Thank you also for every male figure in my life. Thank you for all the things you do for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all, and kudos to you all. Thank you so much to my spiritual fathers and all the amazing men of God the Lord has blessed me with. Happy Father's Day. We are rooting for you and we love you. More grace, more strength. Happy Father's Day.
Hi, I just want to say a happy Father's Day to my husband, Mr. Emmanuel Asante. Baby Nyamiabasa, and I say God bless you. We love you. Say thank you for all you do for us, for your sacrifices. We see you and we appreciate you a lot. To our fathers, every father figure in our lives, God richly bless you so much. Happy Father's Day.
Everyone has just one father, but I am privileged to have many father figures in my life. Today, I appreciate and celebrate all incredible men that have played a fatherly role in my journey. Thank you for the love, encouragement, support, and help. May God bless you abundantly and grant you good health, happiness, and success. Happy Father's Day.
I joined the world in celebrating fathers, and I'd like to use this opportunity to wish my father, Mr. Charles Nyamududu, a happy Father's Day. On behalf of my siblings, I say God richly bless you and thank you for all that you have done for us. Your hallmark in making sure that each and every one of your single 5 daughters is able to attain education is one to be noted for. Once again, I say God richly bless you for all the sacrifices that you've made, and we don't know. We say we are truly grateful. We don't say this very much, but we really appreciate your efforts in making sure that we grow up to become disciplined citizens and assets to the nation. Thank you very much, Daddy. I pray that you will be able to live long to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Once again, happy Father's Day, Daddy. Bye.
Happy Father's Day to our lovely fathers out there, our present fathers out there. Thank you for being our guide, our strength, and our biggest supporter. Your love, your sacrifices, and your endless care means more than words can express. We are truly grateful for everything you've done for us, and thank you for believing in us. Have a nice day, and God bless you for being there for us. Thank you.
So a happy Father's Day to all fathers. We are doing our bit here to celebrate you. We appreciate you for your guidance, your leadership, for the love that you show us, your children. We really appreciate it. So the number to call, this is a phone-in segment where you can call to wish your father a happy Father's Day. And the number to call 0302-784-967. 0302-784-967. Alternatively, if you don't want to call in, you can send it to the WhatsApp number 0204-447-033, and we'll read it right here on the show for you. I recall that we have one message already, so let me quickly go to the WhatsApp and read it. It says, ooh, it's a lengthy one. Hi, Jude and Inu. Wish my dad for me. Happy Father's Day to the one who's been my anchor, my teacher, and my biggest fan since day one. I don't think I say it enough, but I see every sacrifice you've made for me. The early mornings, the late nights, the things you went without so I could have more. The times you put my needs before your own and never once asked for credit. You taught me that love isn't just a word. It's showing up, even when you're tired, even when it's hard. Thank you for loving me unconditionally, for guiding me when I was lost, believing in me when I doubted myself, and celebrating me even for the small wins. You've been my example of strength, integrity, and quiet courage. Because of you, I know what it means to work hard, to be kind, and to never give up. Everything good in me started with the lessons you lived out, not just the ones you spoke. I'm the person I am today because you chose every single day to be the kind of dad who gives his all. I hope I make you proud, Dad. I love you more than words can hold, and I'm endlessly grateful that life gave me you and you chose me unconditionally. Here's to you, my hero, my safe place, my dad. Love always, Louisa. And to her dad, Professor Florian Carl. And so Professor Florian Carl, Louisa is wishing you a happy Father's Day. All right, let's go over the phone lines. Albert in Adenta. Hi, Albert. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. I hope you are doing well.
I'm very
and
well.
My brother too as well.
I'm very well.
Yes. How many are you giving to us?
What do you mean by how many am I giving to you?
The time.
Oh, the time.
Oh, fro.
60 seconds. In 60 seconds. Let's hear you.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, the first one goes to Professor Joseph Bediako Asare, formerly called Dr. Asare, the chief psychiatrist. He's at the Asare Peace Be Clinic. He has been a father, not for his children alone. When we talk of father, we want to describe the father properly. If I have money, always to take care of only my children, I am not a good father. While my money can take care of 10 people, he is someone who has more than 200 children, which the children are not even up to 5,
right?
Because he takes care of other people's children. So it is to Professor Richard Bani of University of Ghana.
Okay.
So it is to Professor John Kachi, UCC, and now advisor to the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Phil Kobo, Dr. David Adiepena, ASP Seth Amediku of Adenta Police Station. He is the crime officer. Lawyer Prince Asari, Asari and Fatines Chimbes, Mutaka Jansin Asari, Assistant Commissioner, Custom, Afon Kwenu, and his friend, Mr. Akumate. Master, these people, Allah, they are very good fathers that we know. They are people that I know, they take care of people's children. In fact, some of them, when I have a problem with other people's children, and I talk to them, they say, Albert, bring them.
Wow.
And they take care of them. These are the people we call fathers. They pick people from on the street and take care of them and make them to become a good citizens in this country. These are the type of fathers we need.
Right.
Not only the father who confined with only his children. These people, may God help them. Thank you. I have not forgotten Mugabe and Johnny Hughes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Albert, for calling in. You can also call in and wish your father or the father figures in your life a happy Father's Day. And so you can call 0302-784-967, 0302-784-967. You want to wish someone?
I mean, I want to. We've had the benefits of great teachers, right? And when I say teachers, I don't necessarily mean only those in the classroom, right? There are teachers who teach you life. They teach you how to be a man. They teach you very important life traits that you need as you grow. So to all persons in my life who've been a teacher at some point, and also a fatherhead, I want to use this occasion to celebrate you. Of course, to those who actually taught us too as well. When I was in Accra Academy, I had a teacher, Michael Mr. Ifa Mensa, an amazing man, Mr. Amankwa, also an amazing teacher, So I want to use this day to celebrate all of those, right, in Accra Academy especially. I mean, everybody who's played a role, all too. And I'm just happy that, initially started as DAO, but there's some kind of outpouring of love and admiration for.
All right, we have Agambira from WA on the phone. Hello, good morning. Happy Sunday.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, let's hear from you. What do you have to tell your dad?
Yes, I'm speaking from WA. My name is Al-Hassan Mr. Agambire. I want to say happy Father's Day to my dad, Mr. Al-Hassan Agambire. He's currently in the Bongo district of Upper East region, in fact, specifically Bongo Field. He has been a very wonderful dad I've had and contributed a lot to the state which I am now. And I want to appreciate him. I want to also appreciate members of the Rotary Club of WA and Rotary District 9104 in Ghana. Rotarians are great fathers, are great people who want to grow children to the best of their ability. And so I want to extend my gratitude to all Rotarian fathers in Ghana on this day of Father's Day celebration. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for calling in. You can also call in 0302-784-967. Alternatively, you can send us a message on the WhatsApp number 0204-447-033. 0204-447-033. That's the WhatsApp number. But if you want to call in, 0302-784-967. Wish the fathers in your lives a happy Father's Day.
I like how people are already in the mood.
Yeah. Happy Father. There used to be a time where people were like, don't be buying your father's morning coats and
No. Buy
bathroom
singlet.
robes
They'll
and
buy
singlet and boxers.
Singlet, boxers, and black socks. If you're lucky, then their socks, they'll add different colors. So maybe blue, black, and brown. Then of course there's a black.
Yeah.
For those who have been extra special, they'll add a belt.
Hey.
Yeah, then the belt and they're written Ling Hu on the belt.
But so far as Ling Hu can hold your trousers up,
oh, please.
what do we
you
care?
Wear it 3-4 times, that's it. Charlie, I have to celebrate. Charlie, Mother's Day, somebody's going, hey, Okadeko, yeah, spa, they are doing, so.
Now we know to add
I like that we are catching up.
Prostrate vouchers to their gifts so that they can get it checked and all of that. So
I know, I have a message here. It says, happy birthday to my dad, Kojo Owusu in Cancer.
Right.
You've been an amazing dad. You've stood in the gap. You've done so much for us beyond what you could imagine. All of us, your children, and those who you didn't even, and those who didn't even get to see you. We are grateful for the life you lived, and we know that you are proud of us wherever you are. So this is from Irabna to Kojo Owusu in Cancer. That I believe he's passed, but still being celebrated, So I'm not really sure if it's passed, but if he has, may so rest in peace. The message sounded like he's passed, but
Was it stated?
No, it says that and.
Okay, Salamatu Lasavia Koshi. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm very well, thank you. Let's hear you.
I want to wish my daddy, Alaji Adamu, a happy Father's Day, and my husband, Alaji Ibrahim Adamu, a happy Father's Day. I really thank them for everything that they are doing, especially my husband, the advice and everything he's been doing for us. I really appreciate me and the kids, the twins. We really appreciate it, and we love him so much. So that's my message for them.
Amazing. I'm just interested, right? You sound very appreciative of all that they do for you. By way of, are there any special things you plan on doing for them today? Do you care to share?
Oh, I'm not actually. You see my voice. I'm not even feeling well.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I'm not feeling well, but I was watching your station. We always watch with him.
Oh, okay.
But he's not here. He's also not well. So I said, no, let me call, and then we especially my husband.
Yeah.
I really appreciate him, the advice and everything. Even though up and down, small up and down, but I really appreciate him. I just wanted to know him that I love him and I appreciate him so much.
Amazing.
Yes, me and the girls, we appreciate him so much.
Right. Thank you so much for calling in. We wish you a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
And
you so
hopefully
much.
the day goes much better for you. But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, I know, Charlie, barest minimum, she's not even well, but she's calling to wish. Some people, they are very strong, but they are doing their own thing somewhere.
Call in, let your father figures, your fathers, let them hear from you. Let them feel appreciated by you. 0302-784-967. 784-967. Call in, let them hear from you.
What would you say is like a very typical Ghanaian dad behavior?
The thing is, I didn't have a typical Ghanaian dad. have a typical Ghanaian dad, so I can't relate.
See, there was one time back in school, we had what we call opening day.
Okay.
So open day is when like the parents.
This is primary?
Yeah, primary JSS. So the parents, let's take Richard. When I come back, I'll tell you my story.
Tell me your story, okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, Richard. In Nungwa, how are you?
I'm fine, you too?
I'm very well, thank you. Let's hear your message.
Yeah, I'm calling from where I want to dedicate this day to my lovely father, Mr. Kamboye Michael, also known as Kumbayiri. I'm very happy for the day, and I'm wishing him well, although he's not well. But I'm happy the way he has taken care of us up to date. We wish him a speedy recovery, and we wish him a happy Father's Day. And to my father, one of my father, Bode, is also an aspirant candidate for NPP constituency organizer. I wish him to a happy day. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for sending in.
Thank you.
And calling in to share this message with us. All right. So the number is still on your screen. Do all to call, send in a wish, send in a message for a loved one, someone who's been a father figure in your life, who's played a father role that you want to celebrate. We'll be glad to just help you do exactly that on Sunday breakfast right here with myself and Safo. So I was saying that, trying to get my thoughts or your thoughts around the typical, what you describe as a typical dad behavior. There was this one time in school, one of my colleagues came with his dad, then they are checking through his books. Then, it's like, why did you get this mark here? Why did you get this mark here? The next thing realize, the belt was out.
Actually,
in the school. In the school. In school. But that friend who later married, I was at a wedding, and I just saw how
proud the dad was.
Oh God, so
yeah.
Ghanaian dads are interesting people.
Right. Jima in Kumasi, good morning. How are you doing?
Please, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. Let's hear your message.
I want.
Hello. Oh, unfortunate. Jima, do call us back so that we can hear your message for your dad. The number to call 0302-784-967. 0302-784-967. Call us to let your dad hear those lovely messages that you have for him. Now, I say I didn't grow up in a typical Ghanaian home because so my father wouldn't take out a belt. He'd rather sit you down and have a conversation with you.
Really?
Yes.
You don't mean it.
Like, you need to, the maximum punishment we would get is you are grounded. Now, you're grounded means you're going in the room, no TV, no...
Yeah, but...
nothing. You have books at your company. So that's... belts there, I never saw some. So I don't have that typical...
Lucky.
I don't have that typical Kenyan dad
the whole thing they say about... with a belt, you turn out fine. Like, no matter what, I promise you, like...
But there's some fear. So you can't sit down with your dad and talk.
You talk.
Sir,
at some point,
like, have
talk.
a conversation.
I promise you.
Okay.
I don't know any instance of the belt being used, unless the person used the belt without, rational...
thinking.
But if there's some rationality to it, you turn out fine.
Turn out fine.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Mark in Wale Wale. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Saba.
All right, let's hear your message.
I just want to say Happy Father's Day to my holy daddy for the blessings in my life, the inspiration, the advice that he has been giving me, and the support that he has been giving us. In fact, there is no one like Father for the courage that he has been giving us from school to where we are today. I have nothing to say but to say, may God richly bless him. May God never let him lack in life again as we live. I wish I would have been with him today just to take him out, but unfortunately I'm far away, and he's also far away. So I always say, may God bless him on behalf of the 6 boys.
6 boys?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's 6 boys, 3 girls.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
6
boys, 3 girls.
Wow. Wow.
Your dad deserves an award. What?
In fact. So I wish you happy birthday, happy Father's Day. Yeah, and to my former headmaster back at Wilby Senior High, Mr. Back at Wilby Senior High, and my former Rick Master. In fact, he has performed and he played an important role in my life. Always he will call Mark, don't give up, continue, keep pushing, don't give up. In fact, he also played an important role in my life. I want to say happy Father's Day to him. And all WUSEC teachers back at 2013, and all boys and fathers in all WUSEC Union 2013 batch. I wish them all happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too for sending in and wishing your dad. 6 boys is incredible.
6 boys, 3 girls.
Because some of us are at 3.
You have put your mother through. Mesa.
Yeah.
Amazing. 6 boys. Wow. Interesting.
They're all right. So we've been joined also by Dinah from Kumasi. And hello, Dinah. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning.
Yes, I hope you are well.
Yeah, I'm doing good, and you?
We are thriving. Myself and Eno are here. I'm very, very fine. What's your special Father's Day wish?
Please, can I speak to you?
You want to speak to you? Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, can I speak to you?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. My husband, happy Father's Day. In fact, no, we are my minimum banner. You need to be brave. It is a happy Father's Day. Yanko Poman on Quatin, the friend of Mr. Boama.
Okay.
Yanko Ponsan be brave. Oman is to be brave.
Amen.
You've been so many in the bathroom.
Amen. Yo.
Thank
you so much, Diana.
Thank you.
She wished the husband, Mr. Boama, a happy Father's Day.
Exactly.
And said that she's really grateful and appreciates all the love shown to herself and their son.
Right. There are a couple of messages here. Let me quickly read them.
Please do.
This is Eugene Dongyel. Happy Father's Day, Uncle Dominic Dongyel. Blood may define family, but love defines fatherhood.
Wow.
You stepped in with a father's heart when it mattered most. Thank you for the silent sacrifices, the advice you gave without being asked, the protection you gave without making noise, the way you believed in me even when I doubted myself. You taught me that being a man isn't about being loud. It's about being steady, responsible, and calm in the storm. Peace of mind delivered. That's the lesson I learned from watching you. I pray God repays every seed of love you've planted in our lives with strength, health, and joy that never runs dry. Today and always, thank you, Dad, not by name, but by nature, with all my love. This is Gabriel Nyamalo. Happy Father's Day to all fathers, especially George Nyamalo and J.K. Bonzi. May God bless us all with long life, good health, and favor in all your endeavors. Hello, ChannelOne TV. My name is Desmond from Greater Estate, Accra. I want to wish my dad, Mr. Gershon Kwaku, a happy Father's Day. He has been an exceptional dad, and I pray for God's blessings upon him. And let me read the last one before we go on the phone. Happy Father's Day to Togbe Foy Chali, Headmaster Vakbo SHS, Dr. Chomesi of Anfuega Hospital, North Dai District, Alaji Baba Zakaria, former Chairman Adenta Constituency, now Board Chairman Ghana Health Services, and Dr. David Kwesi Adiepena of Sukbe.
Do you realize a lot of people also wishing like their teachers, headmaster, and stuff like that? Because that's where the discipline, All right, so let's go over the phone line. Wahab, who is watching us from Bimbila, has joined us over the phone lines. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning. My name is Wahab once again. I want to wish my father, Mura Al Hassan, a happy Father's Day. We are very happy with him. And we are very grateful for what he has done for us. As I speak, I'm far away. He's in Salaga and I'm far away Dimbela. I wish today I could be with you so that we could tear up. But what I can appreciate him today is from here I will send him some questions by giving to chill.
It's important.
Nice. I can't thank him because what he has done for us, we can't appreciate him all. So this is what I want to say. And to my lecturer, Mr. Mahama Muntare, Tamar Technical University, I wish him a happy Father's Day. Sheikh Khalid, I wish you a happy Father's Day. And to all fathers and our president, I say happy Father's Day to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wahab. And our greetings to all of our friends in Bimbela who are watching and who follow the show. We are grateful. So, you know, like I said, yet another caller wishing this time around their lecturer. You know, fathers by nature are trained to be teachers. Right. You know, and of course, we have amazing teachers who are women too, and they do that very excellently, right? But naturally, a father is a teacher because their role is to guide you through, you know, through life, you know, the ever-changing scenes of life. So it's not surprising at all that for a lot of young men, they have deep personal connections with their teachers who are usually male, you know, and that is why some of us, it is very abhorring and distasteful that some persons will take advantage of
their students, the people who have been entrusted into their hands.
Like we saw at the Bole Senior High School.
Right.
But like, I mean, coming back to the essence of the day, fathers are teachers, right? So I'm not surprised at all that we see a lot of people calling to wish.
Right. There are messages as well
fathers.
From Imoru Damanko. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Life's quieter without you, but your love and lessons still guide me. I miss you every day, and I'm trying to make you proud. Rest well. I love you always. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Samuel Boedi of Kwewu Asante Krom. May God bless you and continue to give you strength to see your grandchildren. This is from your Asante and the rest of your children. Also, a happy Father's Day to myself. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Jima, you're back. Good morning.
Please.
Happy Sunday.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Please, I'm doing well by God's grace.
Great. Let's hear you.
Okay, I want to raise my daddy a very blessing, happy Father's Day. Though daddy is not currently with us, he's currently raising us at the bosom of Abraham. He is no more. He has died.
Our deepest condolence to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are living by his words, his inspiration, and anytime that we feel to give up, his words sounds in our ears and tells us, don't give up. The kind of future that daddy was hoping for you guys, you haven't accomplished it. So keep on, keep on, keep on. In our country, we say, Asam under your mind. So I really believe that if it's true, Asam under your mind there, then whatever word, whatever appreciation, whatever wish that I made, I believe daddy will hear me. And I want to tell him that wherever that he is, he should be very calm because the children that he left are doing well, and we are really proud of him. One sad thing that I always keep on crying about is daddy helped many people that wasn't his own children to complete education, but he couldn't even realize his own children education. He couldn't even pay for his children university fees, but whilst he was alive, he was paying a lot of people school fees for them, but he couldn't even be in existence to pay his own children's school fees for him. And on this note, I want to, though today is Father's Day, but I want to raise my mommy a very happy Father's Day because she has played a role of a father and a role of a mother. Whatever that this mommy is, Mrs. Ruth Pomabuache, I want to wish him a very Father's Day. A very industrious lady, a real meaning and real definition of a lady. Real definition of a woman. I'm even melting of saying this all these words. I really appreciate it very much. And I really want to wish every father a very happy Father's Day. There are a lot of fathers that couldn't even get their own children at the early age, but some of these daddies are taking role as a father and taking care of many people. So happy Father's Day to everyone.
Right.
I really appreciate every father that is playing a role very, very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jima. I wasn't going to mention it, but now that Jima has opened the floodgates, a happy Father's Day to my mom, because my father also passed away very early. So my mom, you know, courageously took care of us.
We'll celebrate your mom. We'll celebrate your mom on
but,
Mother's Day.
but, like I was saying earlier in the show, there have been fathers, there have been men who stood in the gap when my dad wasn't there. And to them, I am truly,
those are the ones. So those are the ones that
a crowd will celebrate the mothers who boldly stood in the gap and took care. Don't be a hater, Jude.
Mama,
don't be a hater. Or some mama in or Nigeria, no, I'm a friend of mama. You know,
celebrate your mothers. In fact, me, I'll start. I'll wear your shirt.
But happy Father's Day. You can also call us, you know, or send us your WhatsApp messages. We would be absolutely grateful to hear from you, and I'm sure your fathers would also be grateful.
There's a message from my very good friend back in school, my Jordan boy. I mean,
before you give us that message, let's go on the phone lines. Right. Mubarak is on the phone. Hi, Mubarak. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
All right. Let's hear from you.
I want to wish every father a happy Father's Day. I say done better.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And Jude, you had a message that you were going to read?
Yeah, a rather short one from a very good friend. We're in school together. Love him to bits. Mark Jordan boy says, happy Father's Day to Mr. Joseph Boy, his dad. And he says he loves you and he appreciates you a lot. And may the day be filled with all of the blessings from God.
Okay. You know. And this one says, happy Father's Day to my husband, Mr. Reginald Ahuma Okansi. Keep being that awesome dad you always are. God bless you for us. From your wife, Sylvia, and the team, Katie, Kano, and Ceci. Another one here. Good morning. Happy Father's Day to my dad, Mr. Julius Kafuigli. Thank you for your love, guidance, and the sacrifices you make for your family. Your strength, wisdom, and kindness continue to inspire us every day. Wishing you good health, happiness, and many more years of blessings. Enjoy your special day, Daddy. I love you. And this is from Pius Selassie. Yeah. More messages definitely will be coming in.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say, you know, earlier asked the question about what a typical Ghanaian behavior. Joshua in the northern region is on the line. Let's take Joshua. Share my story. I have to really share my story. All right, Joshua, good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Amazing. What's your special Father's Day message?
Yes, I want to wish Mr. Edward Dawunia Bailey, Paramount Chief of Tatali, who happens to be my very caring dad, a very fulfilling Father's Day. May his dreams come true. Long life, I wish him as well.
Thank you so much, Joshua, and happy Father's Day to you as well, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. I wish you the very best. All right. So, and I was going to say that there was this one time I went to cover a football game at the Accra Sports Stadium. So it was Kotoko playing, I think, Wydad, Casablanca or so. And the game was being played in Accra for obvious reasons. But why RSMS now? And I was just purely astonished. I raised it with a colleague. I wasn't there alone. I was with another colleague. I was purely astonished at the number of parents who brought their children to come and watch the game. And I'm not even talking about just like random fans, to like members of parliament, ministers, you know, all of them in the stadium with like a child or their children watching the game together. And I look back, I think it's a really, really typical Ghanaian dad behavior, right? Because even at the athletics championships, so many of them, I remember this lawyer Alam Tigapanga, who is usually on our morning show news discussion. I mean, sent his children, all of them, to the stadium. And you get the sense that for those who are doing it now, it was something their parents did in the past for them, their dads especially. So I don't know if it's a typical Ghanaian dad behavior, but clearly it's somewhere in there. But let's go by the phone lines.
Yeah,
there's still more.
Ifua
from
Hill.
Tantra Hill.
Yes.
Hi, Ifua. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Yeah, good morning. I'd like to wish my dad, Mr. Eric Hafu Yagume, a very big Father's Day. If I'm being honest, I'm not trying to brag, but I think he's personally top 10 fathers in the child.
No, say it all. Nobody can hold you.
Full chest.
Yes. The man does well.
No, but top 10, it means that he did form. You know.
Yes.
You get to share. What will you say is like one instance where you felt your dad outdid himself for each reason?
I can give 1,000 instances, but if I'm being honest,
this
man went on retirement early, and he could have said he does Uber. He still looks after his family. He's so hardworking. I've never seen someone like his type. Like, I haven't seen someone like my father's type. He's there for his family. He's such a good grandfather to his grandchild. I love him so much, and I really wish God grants all his heart's desires, because he is a treasure. He is a treasure on this earth, if I'm being honest.
I really... go on.
So, Mr. Gume, I don't know if he's watching this right now. He loves your channel, so I hope he's watching this. I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. God bless you. Grant your heart's desires, and the best is yet to come.
Amazing. The best is indeed yet to come. And also, thank you for celebrating, right? It's important that for those who are amazing or have been amazing in our lives, we celebrate them as we can. And I'm really glad you could do this for him. And,
all right.
You know,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
The occasion also serves as a reminder for persons who, for some reason, have neglected their duties as fathers, right? So when they watch and they see the constraints, right? And again, the point, to be a good dad is not necessarily to be a rich dad, right? Because you can be very rich and be responsible. So there are those who, irrespective of the conditions they find themselves in, they do what they can to ensure that their family, their children are better placed, right? And these are the examples we want to highlight on the show today. So, see, I'm really happy people are celebrating their dads.
Happy Father's Day to my father, Wenyom Michael Kluche. I pray the Lord bless him and give him long life, from his first son, Bright Kluche. Happy Father's Day to the first man on earth, Mr. Ibrahim Adam. My father, my hero, Ejapa. God bless you for being there for us. I can't thank you enough, Daddy. I'm now a responsible father, and I appreciate you every single day and moments being a father to us and not just a dad. From Sadiq Arthur, Medina, Yellow House. There's a message from our very own Freema. She said she stands with Jude Duncan. Today is Father's Day, and she say, don't steal the shine, small for mummies. I hear you, Freema. And she's also saying happy Father's Day to all the supermen here. You make the world sugary.
Because how is
keep making us proud.
Standing mom and Kenny B. Charlie, we will not do that. We will not do that.
Cease fire.
We will not do that. Today is for fathers.
I said I understand the thing, and you still want me to continue.
We will not sneak in. If you like, go wear Superman. If you're a woman, you are not part. It's Father's Day, and we'll celebrate fathers. Full stop. On that note, I wish my in-law as well.
You had better.
I wish my
you
in-law,
had better.
Mr. Franco Drokwache, I always say to him that I really appreciate the fact that he leads and the power of his example, right? I've said this to him a couple of times and I want to reiterate it. Thank you so much for being a good leader. Also to my pastor at church, Pastor David Opon, and the entire presbytery of North Kaneshi Church of Pentecost. We want to say a happy Father's Day to you. my own presiding elder, Elder Eric Okine of the Church of Pentecost, North Kaneshie District, Kaneshie State Assembly. Happy Father's Day to you. You've been a father to many people. We pray for more strength and grace. And the entire presbytery and the entire church, right, of Church of Pentecost, Kaneshie State Assembly. I just hope I've not missed anyone.
That's why I said I won't mention names. That's why I said I wouldn't mention any names. But let me quickly go through this before we go on break. Good morning. I am Lukman from Salaga. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all responsible fathers. My father is late, but I pray God should let him find peace. And to all Kusibu family brothers, and to my mentor, Mr. Abu Suleiman from Papanunu House. May Allah bless all fathers. On that note, we'll be right back. It's Father's Day today, and this is Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV. And in line with it being Father's Day, we're talking about men's mental health because we don't talk about it enough. They carry a lot, they do a lot, but they talk so little about the struggles that they go through. So to help us discuss the silent struggles that men may go through, men's mental health, fatherhood, and the courage to speak up, we have Dr. Annie Gaisie, who is a clinical hypnotherapist and addictive behavior specialist, joining us via Zoom to have a conversation on men's mental health and the silent struggles that they go through. Dr. Annie Gaisie, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Eno. I'm very well, thank you. And good morning, Jude. I've been listening and watching you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope you're well.
I'm very well, thank you.
Amazing.
Great. Dr. Annie, why is it that men feel that they need to shoulder everything in this world silently?
First of all, there's this 3-letter words right, that I'd like to say. And it says, men, you provide, you protect, and you don't complain. And that has been something about society for so long, that you provide, you protect, but you don't complain. So there's always been this society belief or understanding tradition of men are silent, men don't talk, but their duty is to provide. And that starts with the boy child, because the mentality that if, I know a lady who had the problem that she was having with her son, being a single parent, was that the boy got to an age where he felt that because he was a boy, he was the man of the house. So whatever that mom said or did or whatever, he had to have the final say. And I was trying to explain to this lady that it should be addressed in a different way, because this is what society has made it to be. Because he's a boy, he feels that he's stronger. He needs to take care of the home because he's drummed into their heads at a very, very early age. And because of that as well, it's like we have that old saying that I've said a few times, like men don't cry. So even if they're going through emotional stuff, they need to just keep quiet. But what we don't realize is the fear. See, recently, it was about a week ago, I was somewhere in Accra, and I was talking to a gentleman, and he was totally broken. And do you know why he was broken? He's just become a dad. And becoming a dad, on social media, I was looking at his post, and he was just showing me flicking all his, whatever. And he looks good. He looked happy. He looked excited. He looked very calm. He looked like somebody really seriously put together. But he says, "Don't you know what? Nobody knows how much I'm breaking inside. Being a new dad, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be a fraud. I don't want to get it wrong." But nobody understands. They look at me. They look at my job. They look at my home. They look at my wife and everything. And people are putting everything together that, everything is fine with me. But actually, do you know what? I can't sleep. I can't breathe. I'm not sure whether I'll be a good father. I'm not sure if I'll be a good husband. So, but deep down, what these, somebody explained something in psychology some time ago that it's like a man or somebody, let's not even say a man, someone standing out there and it's raining, right? Really pouring down. And they've got this umbrella, but it's not big enough for them. But they've got all these people that they have to cover, and that is the man. So they are standing there trenching, it's like they're totally wet, soaking wet, but they are protecting everybody. And this is how it's been for years and years and years. So How is that person who's supposed to protect these people who would get wet, these vulnerable people who would get wet and be sick, supposed to complain? So if they complain or walk away or put the umbrella over their head, how are they going to protect these people who they are meant to protect? And that is how our society is based. So you can't talk. And it's like when you talk, you're weak. When you express yourself, you're weak, because you have to have the answers. As a man, I mean, recently, society is changing so much, and we're understanding mental health, and we're understanding the role of women and men and everything. But it's always been like that. Even though we say society is changing, even undertone, even in school, even when, let's say, a teacher comes in, I need someone to lift a table. It's like, any 4 strong boys. You go to a home, the expectations of, if a woman is not working, it's not frowned at too much. But how can a man not work? How can a father not work? And these are so they're supposed to protect and provide. But then complain, what are you complaining? Because that's your duty. That's what you're supposed to do.
It's interesting you mentioned this, because the courage to speak up for most parts has been largely seen as a Ghanaian trait that we usually lack. Some persons say or feel it's the kind of education we've had in the past. I'd want you to just elaborate a little more on that. Why do you think it persists, and why has it become such a big deal for men, especially growing up from childhood into adulthood?
Yeah. Jude, traditions and cultures are very difficult to break. It's just like training a child, potty training a child, or a child in the nursery. And that's what they said, they're like sponge. You soak everything. One thing we don't realize is the power of society's influence or environmental influence on us. We can say I'm my own individual, I do what I like, I do whatever, and all the confidence and assertiveness things that we keep hearing from therapists, and we use them every day from motivational speakers. But the truth is that no matter who you are, society would influence you. What you say to me this morning, if you say, look at your face, look at your hair, look at this, as much as I'll say, your perception is whatever, there's bits that will still, maybe I need to make a bit more effort next time. I need to maybe wear different clothes next time because it's not appealing to society. So this is something that has been there for generations, about the fact that a man, and I think that because of our religious stance, our strong religious stance especially in Ghana, in terms of our Christian, or whether you believe in that you're Muslim or Islam or whatever, because of that stance, if you go to some of our religious places, even right now, there are places that men sit that women can't sit, or things that men do that women can't do, and there are things that women are expected to do. And Jude, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I heard you talking about the fact that I think you go to the Church of Pentecost. And even now, do you have pastors who are women? Do we have, so the role is that...
We have weaknesses who are
okay,
women.
Right, but is it the same level as the... No, I'm not interviewing you, but...
No, it's not. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is the role of men, or the role of a father. Who is a father is the question. The role of a father. And we can even look at our president, for instance, our president Mahama. If anything goes wrong in society, even though he's not there, even if our gutters block, where is Mahama? These days that we have floods, where is the president? Is the president watching this when there's demolition, when there's everything? And that is the father role, that we expect that a father is supposed to do all these things. And they don't realize the stress involved. That's why there are other people taking other roles as well. So in the home, we expect that being the father, which is true, yes, you're the father, you're supposed to do A, B, C, D, but you can't do it all. And also we have to remember that the stressful nature, that's why I use, for instance, the president. He's got a whole portfolio, he's got a whole nation, both local and international, and just like the home as well. Maybe the father has also got a role at work in the office, could be the head of department or wherever they are. So they've got all of that, and then they've got a home. They have to make sure that they provide a roof over our heads. They have to make sure the children are okay. They go to school. And can I just say that whilst I'm saying this, I was so excited. I think it was 2 women. Lots of people wished their fathers Happy Father's Day and that. But I was so proud when I was listening, like especially the first woman who actually said, I want to wish my husband, because that to me is very emotionally strong that a woman can come out to say, I appreciate, because this is what we're talking about this morning. Because sometimes as women or as wives or partners or spouses or even sisters saying to a brother who is doing so well, we need to say that. We need to be able to come out to say, actually, do you know what? My husband does well, taking the kids to school or picking them or helping me at home with the kids. It's brilliant. And we need to be saying these things, because sometimes it's like, even if I do it, it's not, yes, it's my role, but we all like to hear that. And that's the tradition, that because it's your role, I don't have to say, well done. I don't have to appreciate it. And these are some of the things that people are struggling with, especially, well, obviously we're talking about men. Fathers are struggling with, because no matter what I do, it's not appreciated anyway. And maybe they're going through their own stuff, maybe at work or at home, like enough. After holidays, September, we have to pay school fees. Maybe I have about 3 kids. I have to make sure that is paid. I have to pay the bills at home. All of this you have to do. So you've got all these stresses going on. But maybe just today, your spouse or somebody making you feel good that actually, you know what, we appreciate what you're doing, can make a difference in your mental health, can make a difference for you to know that actually I matter. And what women go through, even, I think there's something about this cultural thing as well, that right from when, because Jude hasn't got a child, so I would have asked him that question, but right from a man is told that, you know what, we're going to have a baby, and seeing a child, people don't realize the massive emotional stress there, no matter how excited they are, because straight away, the burden of actually you're responsible for this child until at least 18 years old.
Right.
That alone is a big deal. And that alone is a whole mental baggage for them to think about, that how am I going to make this happen, especially if it's for the first time. Let's not also forget those who have had a baby and lost them, or those who have been trying to have a baby, all of that. And then also with people, also their mentors and their uncles and all of that, people in the society who are helping. We expect that, okay, if I don't have a father, at least my uncle should pay my fees or look after me. It's something that Ghanaians, we do.
Yeah.
Whether you don't even know the uncle's bank account, whether they have enough, but we expect male figures in the family to look after, the kids in the family. So if that is not happening, then there is a problem. But people don't also realize that, do I have enough? Or is that part of my plan? Whereas in other societies, that's not expected. You have your children, you look after them. If I give them anything, it's a bonus. But don't expect me to look after them. But in our society, being a man, being in a family, you're expected to look after all the children.
Let's talk about societal pressure and how it affects the state of mind for men who have enormous responsibility. As a man watching, right, what we say is the most important trait you should have as far as dealing with the external pressures, the societal influences in shaping your perspectives and your responsibilities towards your family?
Yeah. Thank you for that. There is no, as we all know, there's no manual for being a parent or being a father. There's no manual as to how you have to do it. But there are, as we say, society's expectations or a role as I have brought somebody into the world. So it's my responsibility to. And I think your first responsibility to your own children, because sometimes I think I had a gentleman say, my dad looked after so many people, but wasn't even in the end able to pay for his own kids' school fees for whatever reason. And one could say that, dad could have opened a bank account or something and invest some money so that that money will be ready when the kids were of that age, even whether you're around or not around. So it's about, I like the fact that we have so many insurance policies now, for families, for school and all that in Ghana. I really like that. It's about, this child is my responsibility, or these children are my responsibility. My sister's children, brilliant. My friend's children, my neighbor, it's brilliant. But I think that what men, okay, a man listening to me, please, what are your responsibilities right now? And I think it's the child you brought into the world. I know because of tribal and all of that. So we have certain tribes where maybe your nephew or whatever is supposed to inherit and all that. So because of that, you have to be responsible for your sister's children or your brother's children and all that because of culture. But also I want to ask you the question, who did you bring into this world? Who is your direct DNA? And please, let's not shun from that responsibility and start looking after other people. I think that we need to start adopting the thing, or not just adopting it, just making it part of our life that my children are number one.
Right.
All other children, brilliant, but my children comes first because they need to be okay.
Yeah.
Because when you are not around, the responsibility, they would ask, whose children are these?
Right.
Or what did you leave? Your legacy are your children, then every other. Look after people, but make sure that your children. So if you're a man, don't neglect your children for whatever reason. And can I just say also that don't neglect them because you're having problem or you've had problems with your wife or your spouse or whoever you had the baby with. That problem wasn't actually the child or the children's fault. So go back and do what you have to do for the children, no matter what the woman or whoever is involved is. Even if it's to open a bank account and put money in for the children, one day they will need that money for education or to start life. But don't just say because of what happened between you and someone, your children's mother, you're going to cut them off and just leave them to struggle.
Interesting. What would you say would be the role of other members, right? So let's look at it from a nuclear family point of view. What will be the role of other members of the family in ensuring that these kinds of pressure we're discussing and other, societal problems thereof is not becoming too burdensome on the dad, right? So the mother, the children, are there roles they have to play in dealing with this? I don't know if you get my question.
I do get your question very well, and I think it's very important. I think we all have a role to play in that. I mean, if you're a parent and you realize that maybe your daughter or another son is interfering in another child's marriage or home and demanding so much. I know somebody who built a house. I think recently we had that thing in Ghana. There was a story about something similar to this. And then this person built a home for his wife and his children. The next thing was the sister wanted to move in because she's gone through a divorce. And when the wife tried to stop that, I said, no, but it's my brother's home. Yes, in your brother's home. Your brother can support you by maybe giving you some money to rent a place, but his home is his home.
Yeah.
So another family member, the mother could have stepped in and said that, you know what, yes, I understand where you're coming from, but maybe move into the family home and let's try and the whole family come together and support you. So other family members should be able to communicate, should be able to call this person to task that this shouldn't happen, this shouldn't go on. Your brother or this man or this person, your cousin, has got their own family. And by doing that, you're causing a lot of problems. You're breaking the home. What you're doing is really destroying the home. And sometimes we just assume, because I say sometimes in Ghana that, especially if somebody's got a title or in a position, we just assume they're rich. But sometimes you don't actually have the physical money, so they just, my uncle does this, or my uncle is that, or my uncle is lawyer this, or doctor this, or professor this, or whatever. So we make that assumption straight away, or, my uncle's just come from America, so, everything will be all right. They'll buy a car and this and this and that. But do you know their financial responsibilities? Do you know what they've been through? Or do you know what your uncle or your whatever and their wife have gone through? And maybe they've just come home to rest after a stressful life and they've got just enough to keep them going until whatever age. So you making somebody your responsibility, and I just talk to the general public as well, that don't make somebody your meal ticket. No, they are not your meal ticket. Lead your life, and anything that comes to you is a bonus. But don't sit thinking that uncle this will give me a car, uncle that will give me a house, or I'll move in when whatever, or maybe I'll go to the same school as their children. You have to first remember that they are not your dad. Yes, they maybe adopted you, they fostered you or whatever. But our society needs to understand that this is one of the reasons why we're having such dysfunctional homes, because the burden, and sometimes even it's not the brother or the nephew or whatever, or the niece causing the problem, the mother. So I'm talking to mothers as well. Please, you brought the children into the world, and maybe one is gone off and is doing very well. It's good for them to come and support the others, because it's good for them to be in a privileged position. But please let us not make it 100% their responsibility to come and look after the others. because that affects their life. That affects their progress. And it's so common that the mother themselves or the parent would actually put burden on that child, that son, that you have to do what you have to do. And then what if the woman or the missus in the marriage also decides that my parents want ABC or my siblings want that? Then what happens to that home? So let's not tear homes apart with our demands. It's important that we let men build their home and enjoy their home, because that stress of having extended family, extended friends, extended everybody coming in, maybe the man might not say anything, but that's how some people end up drinking. Some people end up taking prescription drugs and that to help them to cope. But if we can also say that, okay, my brother is gone, let's see what he can do. If he can't, that's okay. Let me work hard and get to where I need to get to. That'll be very helpful, because we are so codependent, it's unbelievable. We are so dependent on our men that it's really sad.
Early on in the interview, you were asking me about what the structures, for example, put in place by the church to deal with some of these issues, and whether or not, you know, in the Pentecost church, for example, women can rise to become head pastors and all of that. Now, you've also spoken about the role of the nuclear family, mothers, children, etc. I want us to scale it up and now look at society in general, and by extension, even the role of policy, right? Those in charge of handling the policy of the entire country. We have, for example, the Ministry of Women, Children Affairs, right? And Social Protection. Now gender, you know, broadly. But for the most part, usually used to be Women and Children Affairs. In fact, people still refer to them as the Ministry for Women and Children Affairs. Is it time we relook the not only the nomenclature, right, but also the actionable inputs, right? So do we have a department instituted to thoroughly address concerns raised by men in society? Is it time for a policy direction in that light?
Wow, that's a big one, taking me political. But you know what? For me, I'm an advocate, you know by now, I'm an advocate for mental health. I am a woman, but I have to also admit that we have so many NGOs, we have so many organizations, institutes for women. You know, so many for women and for children. And it's still, it's brilliant, don't get me wrong. I love it, love it, love it. But you've raised something that is very important as to whether we need a whole ministry or a whole department. Maybe within that, what we've got now, we can create something that looks at men. Because for me, men's mental health is very, very paramount. And we are at the stage where something more needs to be done. Because if that is not addressed, maybe, like you rightly said, our Ministry of Gender and Women and Children used to be for women. And because of that, there was so much focus on domestic abuse, which is excellent. But if the perpetrator is actually the man, and we are not addressing that, and we are not addressing that, what actually makes this person that person? Let's just be a loose talk, say the beast. Who created the beast, and how can we debeast this beast? And we're not putting structures and, like you said, an office in place or something that looks at some of these things. What is actually going on? Why are these things happening? Is this society's influence on men that is causing this? Is this so much put on men? Or do men have too much power? Is that what is creating this and making it difficult for those who don't have that power to be depressed, to feel all these mental health, whatever, and then they take it out on their children, or they take it out on their spouses or their families, and that? Let's look at that. So for me, I agree with you, but that would also fall within the Ministry of Health as well, the mental health department. Let's look at some of these things. Let's make more availability for hubs or places where men can access. One thing is, men, whether physical health or mental health, hardly go unless to see a specialist, unless it's really critical, or somebody is giving them, or the modern man is changing. Let me say, the modern Ghanaian man is changing. But I think that you're right in saying that we need specific areas that actually deal with these things, that look at men and what is going on and how can we support them in their mental health and how can we support them at home. What is going on for them at home? What is even making it difficult for some men to say that I just want to have a child and I don't even want to marry because I can't stand the stress? How can we break that? Because all that is going on now. Some are saying, you know what, have 1 or 2 children, that's it, with a good person, a good friend or somebody. And you know, I'm not doing that marriage thing because I can't stand the stress. I'm not doing this because I'm not even having children. Let's look at these things because there's something going on. But until we do it, but maybe what you're saying, maybe another department may be the same, but we need to create a place within that institute that actually looks at some of these things that we're not talking about, and we still maybe because of stigma, and that we're not actually, addressing that.
Right.
Jude, I hope I'm on the right track with your question.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate the responses.
Dr. Gaisie, I wanted to say that in as much as we're advocating for support for men, how do we encourage them to speak up for themselves, to admit that I'm struggling and I may need help, or I feel unappreciated? How do we encourage them to speak up?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
You know, so,
how do we encourage them
exactly
to speak
what
up
you're
for
doing
themselves?
this morning, you two. You're doing a brilliant task. There's any man watching is listening and knows that actually if I speak up, that doesn't make me weak. If I speak up, Jude talked about his childhood a bit and his father's approach or people around him, the approach. You talked about your dad and your family. I was listening. Other people called and then said things about their mentors. I talked about the ladies who talked about their husbands. So these are all the platforms. That's why I love it so much when, the media or places like, ChannelOne and that use their platform, because that's the only way people can hear. Because if you don't hear it, that is possible. Are people actually doing it? Are men actually going to therapy? Yes. Are men actually talking to therapists? Yes. Are men going to environment asking for help and asking that I'm actually struggling? Yes. But sometimes people are in their corner and they're in the old boys club to the extent that they don't hear these things.
Right.
So it's very difficult for them to come out to actually seek the help. But today we are here. The 3 of us are here saying that this is possible and it's being done. It's being done in Ghana. Maybe people say it's a white person thing, pardon me, but no, it's actually something that is being done now. I have clients who are men, maybe even more men than women. And then, younger men and all of that. So come out, talk to somebody. And sometimes, by talking to somebody, all that you need is for somebody to listen. You already have the answer or the answers, but you need to want to know whether what I'm going through, let me just say in quotes, is that normal? And who defines normality? But maybe other people are going through that. Or maybe we can all have a support group or support groups that we can go to where men can just find it easy. As I'm speaking now, I'm sure some of the people on my mail platform are listening. I have a WhatsApp platform where it's all men, and it's called Men's Wellbeing. And all they do is talk about men issues or issues at home, or we all learn. I'm the only woman on that platform. But I believe that we learn, we progress, we link up with each other. And sometimes even that helps with career, everything.
Right.
Everything. Maybe your child is going through something that you don't understand. Another man has had it before. So if even you are in a workplace, you can start something for men. And then, where men have that space, not just to drink or to talk about football, but also to talk about some of the everyday issues as well. That maybe you have just become a father or you are going through, but you don't know that another man is being through and how they were able to get answers. I think that we should keep talking. And if you are in an organization or an institution and you're watching this, start incorporating that in your workplace where men have that well-being space to just talk about everyday issues without this. The space needs to be safe where they feel that I'm not going to be criticized. I'm not going to feel that I'm being singled out, but this is a safe space where I can talk.
Dr. Gaisie, it's always a pleasure having you for the insights you share to very important conversations like this. Thank you, and we are grateful for your time as always this morning.
Sorry, happy Father's Day to all fathers. I forgot to say that. Happy Father's Day.
On behalf of all fathers, we say thank you. We say thank you. We are grateful as well. All right, so
Yeah.
I think that was a really insightful conversation.
Yeah, you should speak up.
I've personally learned something new myself, right? Which I intend on teaching,
right,
or sharing with other people.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any more messages?
Yes, there are a few two messages. There are a few two messages. There are two more messages that I want to read before we go. Good morning to you all. My name is Mohammed Sulemana from Northern Region, Gushugu. Today, as we are celebrating Father's Day, I want to acknowledge the visionary leader and Ghanaian's godfather, Honorable Sylvester Mensah, who is the Ghana Exim Bank CEO, for his commitment, hard work, resilience, and dedication to the lives of Ghanaians in this Fourth Republic. He has truly shown Ghanaians love, respect, dignity, and stewardship. May Almighty God guide and protect him for Mother Ghana. Happy Father's Day to you, Godfather. Special Happy Father's Day to my lovely dad, Mr. Kluche. May God bless you for standing with me throughout my life. And that's from Bright Kluche. And so
amazing.
Those are the messages.
And to all who called in and shared their messages, to those who couldn't even call but were sending messages, and for those who couldn't do any but were following the show with their hearts and mind and soul, we are grateful.
Very, very grateful. Thank you for staying with us. This has been Sunday Breakfast. I am Eno Safo.
I'm Jude Duncan. Catch you same time next week. Bye-bye.